We're here?
We
We're
most
here!
definitely are.
Here is where we are. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of A Tale of Dice. I have gathered the nerdiest, the most millennial group of 5 individuals that I could find on a random Sunday evening. To be honest, I didn't look very far, like only to The Hague, which is like 20 minutes away. But this is the best I could have came up with, so yeah, I gotta deal with it. But
Hague,
truth be told,
really?
well, yeah, that's where at least where I found you eventually was right here in Leiden. Like, I didn't travel to Tilburg to find you. You came to me. So yeah, there you go. But no, I'm being too harsh on these people. They're good nerds. They roll dice very good. They act very good. Even last week, when the theoretical shit hit the fan, because oh my god, it was so chaotic and nothing got done. But now, I have put all of my characters where they belong, into the soot and grime of the sewer system. So that makes me feel a little bit better, yes. Okay, I think I got all the negativity out of my system now. I think I can like give you like rewards and experience points and magic items again now.
Oh
Okay,
no,
cool.
I actually like the nature of our new relationship. Keep going.
Yeah, make me walk through mud and gore.
Yeah.
Well, if you ask,
Make us
then I can
suffer.
only give you what you want, of course. I mean, the suffering shall begin post haste then. So, without further ado, shall we play a game?
We're back.
Very well. Because, last we left off, our heroes, now known as the Pack, had been contracted by the local guards to investigate the arrival of a certain magical plague. The ringing that people started to hear in their ears, slowly turning them mad, inflicting harm on themselves and others, was a disease that the local guards could not track themselves. Expecting that some higher ranking guards might be at play here as well, foully so, our heroes were contracted to investigate it for them. Following different clues, this brought them eventually to the scum, the fish-like people that seem to dwell in the sewer system underneath the city. These scum apparently were connected to the disease, as they were found trying to erase evidence of people that befell with this affliction. So, to follow this breadcrumb trail, our heroes let loose one of the scum that they had previously captured, and are now following it into its home in the sewers. Following the tracks of this creature that seemingly did not try all too hard to cover for itself, our heroes eventually came upon a couple of scum scouts that jumped out of the water and started to assail our heroes. So that's where we are right now. As the combat order is still in effect, a rat has already been summoned by our wizard Jack. Crowan has already jumped into the murky depths of the sewers waters to whack away at one of the scum. But next to all of this, there also seems to be another assailant. A small demonic creature got crawled out of one of the sewer vents as well, unwrapping its wings to turn itself into its demonic form of a quasit. All of you do know at least a little bit about these sorts of creatures. You know that they are demons, but you might also know that these creatures don't exactly hail from the demonic planes of the abyss. You see, these sorts of demons are normally created by wizards and other spellcasters as a sort of familiar, so to speak. Wizards who quite literally put off their sin into their small demonic familiar minion that can then aid them in all kinds of mischief. So, as you are being assailed by these scum, who are seemingly also aided by their own demonic entity, we quickly turn our attention back to Olam. With the beautiful hairdos.
Yeah, it's not even, so it's going to annoy me.
During
But
combat.
yeah, so my hair is messy.
Makes sense, yeah.
I am going to Spray of Stars the Sons of Beaches.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Few turns.
So, what happens?
So I make a 15-foot cone of Spray of Stars, but I'm not really sure how big that is. It's like the nine thingies,
Yeah,
right?
so I will say, for the sake of this, at every point, like 5 feet to one side, the spray is 5 feet wide, and then 10 feet, it's 10 feet wide. So you first have 1 square, then 2 square, then 3 squares. So for the sake of this, you could like position yourself right where you are right now to have 1 color spray hit all the enemies, but also hit our rat friend that had just been summoned into the sewers.
Which is basically worth
Right.
it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah? Alright, so
Yeah.
you're going to blast all of them. So
Yes.
tell me, what happens? Do I need to make a certain saving throw?
You
Do
have to
need
make a reflex saving
reflex
throw.
save.
Yes.
Alright. Reflex save all across the board. Let's see here. The Quasit, the small demon that just turned itself into its normal demonic form, gazes upon you and does seem to realize the incoming onslaught as he pulls himself back into the roster just a little bit with a 25 on his reflex save. Yeah, he seems to be a
Just
sneaky
not
little
a
fellow.
critical success.
Ooh, alright.
So it's just a success.
Alright, and both the scums each have a 19 and an 18 respectively.
Okay, so it's just successes because
Okay.
they had to make a 16. So everyone that got hit takes half damage and is dazzled for 1 round.
Nice.
I'm going to roll a d4.
Oh, and
Fire damage.
Jack, we also need you to make a reflex save for your rat that you had summoned into the fray.
Sorry.
Still though, 3 for the price of 1. Not too shabby.
I rolled a 2, so it's 2 fire damage. 1 fire damage.
1 fire damage for each of them. Alright, so
Okay.
not a lot of damage, but still, being dazzled will hamper a lot of their
Stuff.
things. So yeah, basically for the next round, they are dazzled and will have trouble with aiming correctly and trying to make their attacks hit, so that's fine. Alright.
Fixing roll already?
I can't
There's
hear
something
Maxine.
wrong with your mic, I think.
We could barely hear you.
Yeah. You're really soft.
Oh god. Technical difficulties incoming.
No problem. This is better probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, a reflex save. Oh, wait,
Rat reflexes.
what is this reflex? Like
Yes.
wait, ref probably. Oh, that's actually pretty okay. That's gonna be a 23 for my red.
Ooh.
Oh, so that's
Yeah.
just a success.
He's dazzled.
So
Rat
you take
reflexes.
1 fire damage and you're dazzled.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So those are 2 of Olam's actions. You still have a third in the bank.
Yes, and she's going to cast Shield on herself, as is the only one she can cast it on.
Alright. So you just saw the 2 scum just jump out of the water with their crossbows / harpoon guns at the ready, trying to ambush all of you, but it seemed that you guys were way too aware of the oncoming onslaught. Crone just jumped in and whacked one of them, and you quickly pull out your hand and just blast them in a cone of sparkling light, and then that sparkling light also comes back to you a little bit and coalesces into this shimmering shield of arcane magics to protect yourself.
Yes.
Very
and
nice.
also, because of the really pretty magic thingy Olam does. She gets kind of cursed while doing magic.
Right.
So she gets a little lighter. You can see her floating, and the stars in her fur shine just a little bit brighter. And she becomes enfeebled 1.
You have just turned into a shiny Pokemon version of yourself.
Yep.
Very good. All right. With Olam dazzling the competition, we turn our attention to Edge.
All right, this is the rat, right?
This is the rat. That is your
Okay.
friend,
Well, that
and
is our
this is the
friend.
enemy.
Okay. Then I will move over here. A minute. And I will attack this ugly motherfucker.
All right. So you do jump into the sewage, which is not a very good time for you, but at least now you can hit this guy. So the sewage, just like Crowan, is also up to your waist right now. So this will be difficult terrain for you unless you have a swimming speed to move out of these sort of situations. But right now, you're at the ready.
And let's not forget, at the top of the round, we also have an elemental spark still.
Yes, yeah, but we have the artifact as one of the things within the initiative order right now.
Perfect, nice.
Yeah, you can see it. I think you can see it fourth with a 99 on initiative.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, the artifact is always faster than all of you, it seems.
16 to hit.
16 hits, yeah.
Especially when flanked.
Ooh.
Well, flanked, yes, but it's also flat-footed because it's dazzled and right now can't really see for shit.
Yeah.
That's 1d8 1. That's a 5 damage.
5 points of damage.
Bludgeoning.
Together with... Sorry?
5 points of bludgeoning.
Hell yeah. Well, together with the other points of damage that already had been done to this creature, you just jump into the water, use your momentum, and just whack your fist right at his face. Then
No, the staff.
cobbles back. Oh, sorry.
One-handed
Oh, with
staff. I just basically
whack.
whack at
Excuse
his
me.
skull.
And you do so quite effectively as his head bashes back against the stone wall, and he just goes under.
Okay. Then I will make my second attack at the other ugly motherfucker.
Ooh, hell yeah, you will.
Same thing
Let's
with
go.
the staff. That's 12 to hit.
12 misses, I'm afraid, as you try again with your staff to whack him at the other side, but he just pulls up his harpoon gun and parries your blow for a moment, pushing it back.
And I have 1 action left.
Then right now you moved, did 2 attacks, so I think that those are all your 3 actions.
Okay, so
Unless you have
movement
certain
is an
ways
action.
to... Yes.
Then I am... Yeah, then I'm done.
Alright. But who's not yet done is Tarouche.
Excellent. Well, I don't really have a ton of options right now because I already used all of my first level spells today. Including my... whose stupid idea was it to go in here without resting first?
No idea. No idea.
No, but so what I'm gonna do, first off, Tarouche sees all this action happening. He's also impressed by the colorful, magical display that Olam is showing. But he then turns his attention to the, what was it, the imp? The quasit?
No, it is a quasit.
A quasit,
Imps are like the devil kind, but quasits are basically like demonic familiars.
All right.
It's like the most easy way to talk about them.
So Tarouche shifts his position a bit as he starts speaking in this guttural, ugly language of which the inherent evil amplifies his voice even. And he speaks in Abyssal as he says, "Perhaps we can offer you a better deal, demon. Perhaps we can offer you a greater chance for chaos." and I'm gonna try and can I make like a diplomacy check to try and maybe improve his or try and convince him? No, wait, that would actually that would actually be a deception check.
Yeah.
Oh. Fair enough.
Wait.
Like if you are lying,
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah.
make a deception check.
I swear I am. That is that could be better. That's an 11 plus 6 is 17.
17. The Quasit does like perch out his head once again and is interested in the fact that somebody seemingly is speaking his own tongue, as he does reply to you, "Petty human, my master is not to be trifled with. But let me show you myself." And he already begins to crawl out back into the fray with all of you.
Fair enough. Then feel my strength. And I bash down my staff as electricity arcs from it onto the Quasit and the scum next to him. They
Very
have
well.
to make a reflex save.
All right. Ooh, those aren't too high. A 17 and a 17.
17 and a 17, I believe, would both be exactly successes. That is a bummer, but it happens. Let me get up my cute little D4 here and roll for massive damage.
Oh,
well,
shit.
you can't have a very low number, so that's 1 plus 4. That's going to be 2 damage on both of them.
All right, 5 half to 2 points of damage.
Like,
I mean,
why does this happen after the cool one-liner, right?
Yeah.
But sure.
What
Maybe the
strength?
one-liner
What-
isn't as cool as you think.
Yeah, fair. I should have gone like my strength will shock you or something, but you know, I guess I can't go with a pun that quickly.
yeah, it seems that indeed your magical powers are depleting quite a lot as you are adventuring for a long time already.
And,
All right,
yeah,
but
that's my turn already. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Then after that, we have the one scum that just got a little bit electrified, but he could dodge out of the way under the water just for a moment to let a lot of the electricity just dissipate. And as it gets up again, the crossbow harpoon is nowhere to be found, and this time he just goes raking at his previous assailant, which is Crowan. So Crowan, you remember that the claws of these creatures already could inflict some damage. Let's see if it happens again.
It's fine. It's fine.
Alright, so those are a 18, a 17, and an 18 on the dice.
Those are. He hits 3 times?
Well, he uses all 3 actions to just go batshit crazy on you.
The 2 18s hit just on my.
No, those were the die.
Oh.
I need to add their numbers. So the first one becomes a. Let me see here. No, that's the wrong one. That's the good one. First one becomes a 25.
Yeah, that hits.
Second one becomes a 20.
Yeah, that hits as well.
Third one becomes a 15.
That's not enough.
No crits.
All right. So you do take. Let's see here. That is. Only 9 points of total piercing damage.
Already at half to the health. I got too cocky, guys.
Couple of claws go wide. You actually hear the Quasit Tarush just say, idiot. Not really all too glad with the amount of oomph that his scum companion packed in those punches. But after that onslaught, that is the only thing that the scum can do. So we then turn our attention to the artifact. So let's see. We still had from Nideko a elemental spark. Elemental spark to creepy centipede thing. Hell yeah. Okay, so we are at level 1. So right now that would be 1d6 points of damage that are blasted against the now no longer centipede thing, but now he turned into his normal demonic form. So can you roll me a d6 in chat, Charlie?
I might actually be able to do you one better. First is going to be... Oh, wait, that is the wrong screen.
Oh yeah, sorry, I said in chat, but I meant like on the screen, indeed.
Let me see what happens if I do this, and I click, and I choose a d6, and I
If
throw.
I get a 4,
Oh,
I'm gonna go.
That's a d20 and a 1. So 1. Sorry, need to go.
Alright, but still, the artifact just pulses a little bit, and a small electrical arc just hits the demonic creature right in his face, adding more insult than actual injury, but still, all small pieces of damage help in this. Alright. So, with that out of the way, another hero point also got given to Olam once again, which is very nice. But next to that, I don't see any other artifact stuff. So after that, we turn to Jack once again. Jack,
That's
the
me.
turn is yours.
Yes. So I have a small plan. I start out with a focus spell called Augmented Summoning. It's a single action with which I invigorate the giant rat standing on the other side of the water. And it just gives me a +1 on all DCs and AC.
Nice.
Okay.
Next, I'm gonna attack, because that is actually quite handy when you have a +1 on everything. Let me have a quick look at the actions that I can take as a giant rat. Yes. So, it's gonna be a jaw attack. Yeah.
Very well.
I have to check on which one, of course.
Don't forget
we
your
have-
dazzled.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah, I can do the one in the middle, so that I'm also flanking with Crowan.
Yeah,
What was the
indeed.
dazzle again?
Yeah, so right now you do need to make a flat 5 check to hit the creature, because you can't really see all that well.
Oh,
Ah,
did
yes.
you do that? Did you do that on the on my
I
turn
did
when
not.
I got it? Oh,
I did not. And the first one is a 2, so the first attack already missed. Second is a 1. I'm not making this up. So heal yourself back 9 points, Crowan.
Great.
Because the scum really couldn't do anything. So like the Quasit is even more frustrated that, for fuck's sake, is this everything?
Dazzle's the shit, man.
The scum
Oh,
is
yeah.
like, oh no, my attacks got retconned. No.
So first of all, flat check, I rolled a 19.
Alright, so that's enough. The first attack can be made.
Oh, and I actually also rolled a 19 again on my attack, so that's gonna be
Damn.
that's actually gonna be a 26 to hit.
26, alright. Well, it seems that after you augmented your rat, his attacks indeed became a lot more ferocious, because that's a critical hit already.
Oh damn. Making 5 and 4 is 9 plus making 10 points of piercing damage.
Woo!
Yeah. And Phil Fever.
Yeah,
I believe.
I'm not
so
sure
yes,
if the disease will add anything else, because he's already dead. Because the scum came out of the water, tried to get his claws into Crowan. Crowan, already knowing what these creatures are capable of, holding off all of the attacks of this dazzled scum. But even through the dazzled condition of the rat, he did manage to just creep up on the scum and just bite him right in the neck, and you can see him just thrash the scum a little bit through the water, and then the body just goes limp as the rat spits it out.
Does the rat
well,
have
that's
another
actually quite
action?
excessive. Yeah, so he does have another action, which means that he's gonna do something very interesting. It's one step to the left. Oh, I cannot move it, but one step to the left.
But it did though. Here, wait.
It did,
That's
though.
what you did.
Let me.
Yeah.
To the left, to the
Wait.
left.
That leaves me
No.
just.
Wrong one. No. There we go. A lot better.
Bite by teeth.
Now that leaves
Okay.
me with just one action, and I don't have much that I can do with just one action. So I am very well. It doesn't really do much, but I'm gonna cast Shield. Make sure that I'm safe for any incoming projectiles or anything.
Very well.
And that's it. That's my turn.
All right, Crowan. You
Yeah.
just saw both of your adversaries in the water been knocked out or have their throats ripped out. completely dead. As you are up once again, you still see the small demonic creature crawling out of the vents.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm gonna first go here, and then I'm gonna make a risky because I don't know if there's reactions, but I'm just gonna go there with my movement. Does
Alright.
something happen?
Let me check for a minute. No,
Ah, okay.
no,
great.
you're good for now. You're good for now.
Okay, so now I'm gonna whack him twice.
Oh
Like
shit!
a mighty mace. Ah! Is 17 on the AC enough? He is
Ooh.
flanked.
17 is exactly what you need. Well, no, he's flat-footed, so that makes it even a little bit easier. But a 17 hits, yeah.
So that is 11 damage on the first one,
Oof,
and the next
nothing
attack
too shabby.
Next attack is, let's see. That was 15.
15 just hits.
Oh, great. So let's see. 9 plus 3, 4 again. That is 13 damage.
Damn!
I'm
Rowan,
done.
how do you want to do this?
Well, I'm gonna hit him on his soft spot. So the first is going right at his abdomen, and as he buckles down to reeling from the hit, I'm just gonna whack him at the end.
Alright. So, as Crowan just pushes himself through the water, one hand on the sidewalk, you quickly pull yourself out of the water with all of your movement, and as you do, you begin to whack, this time not having your trusty sap at your disposal, but your deadly mace with a large metal head, and you just go whack, whack, and the last hit pushes the demon down to the floor, and you can see the dark purple blood just begin to emanate from the open wound as this small bat-winged creature lets out a couple of last screeches. Tarush, you can hear, "Stir, safe." At which moment, Crowan, you pull up your mace, heaving and hoeing, the ambushees becoming the ambushed, and you can then see that the small demonic creature just begins to burn in green flame until, after a couple of seconds, nothing is left but a couple of specks of dust.
Okay.
The ambushes survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything, I believe, against all of you.
Yeah, I got lucky with the dazzle.
It's freaking two fish and an evil bat against 5 humanoids. They stood not a snowball's chance in hell.
We're awesome, so you know.
Yeah, I was just about to say, and we're just damn good. So
Damn great.
Sure, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So, as the adrenaline begins to subside, what do these pack members do next?
I would like to collect some dust that was left behind from the evil.
Easily done. You figure that you still have a empty vial from a healing potion that was consumed previously, and you pop it open, just scoop a little bit of demon dust in it, and close the lid once again.
cool.
Is there anything else left behind by them? Like, were they carrying something
If you wish to
that
check.
we can loot? Yes.
Did we kill the scum or did we knock him unconscious?
I'm afraid that both of these were killed, as the creatures that dealt the final blows did not take any penalties for non-lethal damage, or at least not that I'm aware of.
Sorry, I just concaved the skull of the one that I
Oh,
killed.
no.
It is beyond repair.
I'm not sad about this. I was just checking if I should still finish them off or something.
Double tap.
Yeah.
Nabadolam, you want to also jump into the sewage and begin to loot the bodies?
Oh no! Wait, water. No, never mind. No,
I'll
no.
loot. I'm in there anyway.
Yeah.
I'll stick my hands down there
Right.
and get proper
Edge
fill.
takes a look.
Jack
And,
also just figures that when Edge is in the water, that Jack doesn't have to go into the sewer water. So that's
yeah.
a great positive point.
Oh, which reminds me. I need both. Let me see, the two Crowan and Edge to go ahead and make me a Fortitude saving throw, please.
Check. How's a 12 for you?
12, noted.
13 for a total of 19.
19, noted.
Yeah, 13 plus 6 is 19.
13 plus 6 is 19. That is correct.
Nideko made a good point. Olam was kind of bound tied to Edge, so I hope we got that figured out before we went into the sewers.
I mean, both of you are still standing next to each other, so right now there's enough space on the rope in between the two of you that you don't get pulled into the water completely. But if Edge is going to actually pull you in the water, then that might happen. Yes.
I will kill you if you do that, but that's fine.
I will. You know what? Olam already. I almost called you Melo there. Olam already said that they were fine. So Edge is going to untie the rope.
Well, not for now, but if we're going to walk, you can get tied with me again. Yes.
But it's fine. I can see down here. Can't you?
Well, I don't want to fall.
Oké, then Corin is going to go be helpful and takes the rope. I got you covered, Olam.
Thank you, Crowan. You are a good friend.
Then he takes the rope and just ties it to like a pole.
No, he ties it to the scum floating away.
Goodbye.
Just ties it to a large rock and then pushes the rock into the water.
And because Olam is super light right now, she can't stop it. Like she's like, yeah. So.
Yeah, Olam is like a half-filled helium balloon right now.
Oh, so she would float.
Well, not
there, we're all
entirely, but
Only one way to find out.
Oh no!
So
I mean, in the sewers we all float.
Edge, you take a look at the bodies, and you do find that these crossbow contraptions that they have, these harpoon guns, are tribalistic in nature, but they are quite well made. I mean, you begin to realize that these creatures do fight underwater sometimes, and normal attacks underwater become quite difficult. You can't really swing a hammer or a mace with all that might while you are underwater, but these weapons might do the trick actually. What you also find is that one of these scum has a quiver of bolts with him, but a couple of these bolts do seem a little bit more special than others. As you see that two of them are having on the tips this sort of yellowish hue painted on them. They also seem to be on the places where they are painted. You try to pull it out and you see that it's still clean, and all of the grime that the sewer has immediately falls off of these sorts of arrow tips. Makes you think that they might be enchanted. Next to that, see here, you also find that they are carrying at least a small amount of coinage that they seemingly found while just patrolling over here. A total of 2 silver pieces and 6 copper. There you go.
Dibs.
Probably things that just got fell out of pockets while people were using latrines, that sort of stuff.
As you always do.
I mean, yeah, statistically, water damage to smartphones is very often caused by toilets.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and You also find another thing. You find that each one of these scum are also carrying with them a pouch that they keep on their side, which seem to be filled with some sort of moss-like substance.
Moss.
Yep. Very, very slimy.
So in the meantime, Tarush leans back against the wall next to Jack. And how's your connection, your power?
Well, pretty good, but I'm running a bit low on steam here. I think I have like one more big spell in me, and then it's only the small magician stuff.
Very well. Your magic is not like
Oh.
ours, is it?
Well, I'm not really. I don't really know how your magic is. So maybe, but maybe not.
Well, if you do not know the fundamentals of it, then that alone implies that it is different from ours.
How do you do your magic thing then?
Through vigorous study, through
Oh no.
figuring
No,
out
yeah.
the fundamentals of existence, the manipulation of reality through will and knowledge by learned practice.
And cooking. The two.
Well, I never really had a cooking class, so but I do kinda I guess know how to do stuff with reality, but I didn't have to study, no.
You look
Do you-
strange. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just a little light in the body, but if as long as nobody is trying to hold on to me that I don't want to, it's fine. It's normal stuff. I just need to rest in a couple of hours, and it will be gone. That's not normal for you?
I grow tired.
Yeah,
Well, that's I guess. But you don't go up a bit. No, I don't have it with everything I do. Just a couple of things.
Very well.
Then
how-
Coin goes,
Oh.
Jack, Terush, or Lam, can you go on?
Yes, it's fine. I'm fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It is more our contribution to further battles, which I'm worried about. But if the intensity of it remains as it was just now, I believe we will be fine. And he knocks. He looks for somewhere to knock, but finds no wood.
Jack just kindly points to staff, and then says, "Yeah, I'm pretty much fine to go on. I think."
My staff isn't wood, unfortunately.
Liars.
Edge also climbs out of the water with these two pouches of moss. Is any one of you trained in nature?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was actually gonna
sorry.
go hey smartass, and I just throw the moss in the direction of Tarush's face. Contribute this.
I'm gonna roll and see. Yeah, I think I might catch it. So Tarush attempts to grab it from the air
Tarush takes no.
and clumsily does so. Thank you. We'll figure something out with this. Can I detect magic on it?
You can indeed. You can.
I mean, yeah, fair. Obviously, I can. I try to. And is there a magic aura from it? This actually what I meant to ask.
No. Sorry. My apologies. No, but there does not seem to be any magic coming from this sort of moss. It seems to be a normal piece of plant life.
Very well.
It does make you think like what the reason might be that they are carrying pouches of it along themselves. Is anybody trained in nature?
Yes, me. I am. I love nature. Hello.
Okay. As you gaze upon this mossy substance, go ahead and make a nature check for me.
Oh, I love to have my good dice back again. Oh, that's 22.
22.
Yes.
Huh. You begin to realize what this might be, and you ask Jack for a moment to stop his dancing lights. And as Jack, just for a moment, lets all the dancing lights go out, you see a faint hue coming from the pouch of moss, illuminating the surrounding area. Not enough to actually be a light source, but something that could clearly be seen in the pitch black darkness, and it's bioluminescent. But what you also see is as you gaze a little bit further into the sewer system, you eventually see on the wall a small painting of a very simplistic glyph, if you will, in this moss.
Okay. Do we recognize glyph?
As you take a couple of steps forward, you don't really realize what this is. Each and every one of you can go ahead and make a perception check for me real quick.
17.
13.
Also 17.
17.
8.
8.
17.
17. Doesn't really anything come to mind. But it seems that these creatures were, like, tagging a certain part of the wall with this moss.
Hmm.
Okay.
What is it?
Do I see like anything that could indicate a direction or a map or like a mappings or anything?
Make a... Just roll me a straight up wisdom check. Just roll me a d20, add your wisdom modifier. As you try to like instinctively figure out what this might be.
That's a 4.
That's a 4. You don't really see any like directions. You do realize that it is all of you as you are gazing upon it with 17s on your perception. You do realize that it's probably some sort of like very tribalistic writing. It's very simple, like just a singular brushstroke with another line through it, for example. So nothing all too special. It's clear that some one of these creatures probably like just put its hand in the moss and then just made a nice little bioluminescent tag sign over there. You don't realize what it might mean per se.
Okay.
But could perhaps indeed be like these people leaving marks for like a route home, or perhaps telling others where they need to go.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was thought too. Yeah.
You think back on your time as a guard, Crowan, and you remember that a lot of thieves, for example, also use different tags to like make clear which houses are there to be robbed, which places to go, which places not to go, all that sort of stuff. Could be something like that. Might just be a breadcrumb trail back to their hideout. Who knows?
So, Tarush looks it over as well, as he then looks over to Crowan. Do you think it means anything?
Well, it definitely means anything, but what it does mean is for me a mystery.
I say, if we cannot use it to our benefit, then it might be an advantage we would want to take away from the scum.
It's not magical, is it?
No, I don't think so. No, the moss is not magical, no.
Speaking of advantages for the scum, last encounter you just barely stopped before you stepped into one of their traps. I don't know if you want to investigate that a little bit or see what it might have done if you stepped into it.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think that's a smart plan.
Tarush is going to start using acid splash to get rid of the moss, to burn it away.
All right.
while the rest of you are investigating the trap.
Easily done.
Crone, I think
Yeah.
this might be your expertise. The trap.
I can't. I'd rather not activate it if it's an alarm, if it's some sort of alarm system. However, I can check out what it would have done and maybe disable it if I can.
Disabling different sort of traps and snares. What this is requires a thievery check. So if you're trained in thievery, you would be well in dismantling these sorts of things. But you can also just make a perception check to see if you can figure out what it was for and what it might have done.
Yeah, I'm not trained in thievery as a rogue, so yeah, make a skill figure.
Hey,
I'm
But so I'm
trained
just
in
gonna go
thievery.
with a perception check then.
Atypical characters for the win.
Yeah. A 14 on my perception.
14 on your perception, which seems to be enough. These creatures, while crafty in their own right, weren't really capable of hiding this snare all too well. There's a little puddle of mud and some splintered wood from further on into the sewer system that they used as a bit of camouflage, but it's nothing more than just a piece of string that has been kept in place by a couple of rocks, and if you would like push them away, then the string would go up, and you follow the string all the way upward, where you can see a small, fairly badly camouflaged net, which seems to hold all different kinds of like sparkling pieces of glass.
Okay.
It's hard to say what it is exactly because it still has a little bit of camouflage over it, but Tarush?
So as Tarush starts getting rid of the let's call it the moss graffiti, something comes up in me. It might be a bit far-fetched, but Tarush does know about soldiers and armies marking locations in certain ways after they've been scouted or run through. Could I perhaps try out a lore warfare check on this sign? Is that applicable?
I'll give it to you. Go
If
ahead.
not, then that's fine. But
No, sure. Go ahead.
that would be nice. 21.
21. All right. So, as you walk up to it and you begin to concentrate your acid splash cantrip, but this time holding it on just a little bit more, so the globule begins to increase, and then you just begin to like burst it out in a small little stream, and you just begin to erase this entire tag. You indeed have some time to think about what you have seen so far. You have seen a group, like a expeditionary force, if you will, that you found in the building that you guys were investigating. And now you figure that, okay, these creatures. I know that scum are tribalistic creatures, but it doesn't mean that they're completely stupid. They might have some tactics to them. And you begin to like put some things together, begin to deduce that what you had found right now might very well be a like patrol for whatever nest or place of interest that you might be looking for. And these tags might very well also be indeed like a way to make other scum known that these are still safe places, or perhaps, well, they are getting more active, the scum. Perhaps they are trying to expand their territory. There are still a lot of ways that this could have gone, but with them tagging these sorts of places, it becomes quite apparent that this might very well be some sort of patrol, giving you at least a little bit of a hint that you might get closer to one of their bases of operation, so to speak.
And that we're in their de facto territory. All right.
Yeah.
At least the place that they're patrolling.
Yeah. All right.
Do we want to place our own marker to be sure that when we come back we don't trigger the trap?
I don't have a spell like that.
No, but we can also just leave like a piece of cloth or.
You could also try to trigger the trap from a safe distance. Like you have with you now, if you want to take them with you, like crossbows. So you see like the small piece of string, you could just like take a couple of steps back and trigger the trap from a safe distance, see what it actually is, what it actually does.
I can also just produce flames on the string if you want.
Could also be done.
Yeah.
Acid splash, all these kinds of cantrips, yeah?
No.
I am just afraid that the noise it will cause might draw more attention than we want to.
Might be
I
true,
think- I
but then
think the
again, you just
noises
had
from
a
the fight would have been enough. If noise is going to attract them, then the noises from the fight would have.
Yeah.
what
fair.
they said.
Okay, go ahead, Jack.
I cast Produce Flames on it from a safe distance. I can do it from up to 30 feet. So I would say that we take some nice distance and produce some flames.
Well, if this is 60 pounds of TNT, we're in trouble.
Well, you take a look up there, and it seems that some sort of net that is like no more than half a meter in diameter is keeping up something over there. You figure that it's probably not the most explosive of traps. And as you take a couple of steps back, and Jack just throws a small bolt of flame at it, it just falls over there, and for a second the string seems to catch flame, and then as it comes loose, the small net just jettons downward a cluster of small pieces of glass, but it's not glass, it's crystal. And as they all fall on the ground, you all hear ping, 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 ping. And as all the high-pitched pings begin to like build up on each other, all the different small pieces of crystal seem to resonate as they then, one by one, begin to combust, if you will, in shatters of small pieces of crystal glass. A couple of these pieces actually fall in front of your feet, Jack, and as you take a look at what it actually is, these pieces of crystal do look familiar.
This trap seems too advanced for the creature we just fought. This
Ave, you're not understandable. Could you speak up?
Now we can't hear you at all.
The other way.
How about now?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
much better.
Okay. I just said that this trap with the crystals and the fact that them making the noise makes them more dangerous seems too sophisticated for the creatures that we just fought.
Like to make things clear, the trap itself wasn't anything to write home about. It was basically like a small trap door on the ceiling, like a net affixed, and it just fell loose when the string was cut.
Yes, but the effect of the trap,
Exactly.
the
Mhm.
crystals, and the sounds that
Crystals.
they made, and the combustion because of the sounds, that seems too advanced to me. That seems like there's somebody with a bigger brain behind it.
Well,
I agree
Wow.
with Edge because these crystals are the crystals that we saw earlier. I mean, this is the crystals that we found in the dungeon
Oh,
underneath
yes.
underneath Farwater.
Indeed are.
I apologize. I did indeed forget to, perchance, mention something. The Quasit, I spoke its language. I speak its language and understand it. And it was very clearly speaking of a master. Ominous sounding. Yes.
Sorry, quick question, DM, because I did
Mm-hmm.
text you a question, but you haven't
Oh, I'm
responded
sorry.
to it yet. Because of Mama, do I speak Abyssal or is that Infernal?
No, that is infernal.
Infernal. Okay. Then I would not have heard that conversation.
Great not.
Darush, how come you can talk to them? Do you have same kind of blood?
Oh,
Or
no, absolutely not.
Good.
I learned it. A little bit of magical aptitude and a lot of practice. I speak many
So-
languages. I speak Infernal as I switch to Infernal. I speak Abyssal.
This is no time to be showboating, Terush. If
Well,
we're done here, let's move on.
but this
Well,
is not something I have to worry about, right? You knowing their language and we have to fight them.
I
They're not
Being able
friends
to
of you.
Being able to speak a certain language does not immediately make you friends or allies to the people who speak that language.
Okay. No, just checking.
I mean,
because
I don't
know.
like him. Do not get me wrong. I think he is absolutely irritating and needs to turn down his ego a bit. But I don't mistrust him because he speaks up his own.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I speak Goblinish, and do I look anything like a goblin? And Jack stands there like a green half orc. Do I look anything like a
Well, I mean,
goblin?
a little bit.
I
trade.
believe that, aside from that, our very own Edge here has already proven that whatever runs in your bloodline does not, per se, make you a bad person.
Did you just presume to know what happens in my bloodline?
Well, the forked tail has implications.
Oof.
You have not met many of us, have you?
Absolutely not. No.
Exactly. So maybe wait with your judgment until you get to know us.
I believe
And I just walk away.
So easily offended. Very well. Let us continue.
Jack just looks at Olam and Crowan and just says, "Well, I think we're on our way again."
Something you could take note, Tarouche. The less you talk, the less chances of offending someone.
Very well. I shall stick to other languages then.
As all of you begin to walk forward, your summoned rat, Jack, does take out an hourglass for a moment, looks at it, realizes it's a certain time, and he just begins to crawl in one of the vents away.
Is he wearing a red waistcoat?
He is putting on a red waistcoat because he has some place to be right now. So, as all of you continue your travels, you guys were still trying to track that one scum that you let out, and I believe that Olam, you were the one tracking it. Now that there was quite a little bit of upheaval, let me just see if I remember this correctly. Olam was the one that's going to be tracking, so a survival check, please. I remember that Roosh was keeping an eye out for magical things with detect magic. Crone was the one perceiving and trying to keep an eye out for anything. What were Jack and Edge doing again?
Edge was scouting ahead.
Edge was scouting, that is correct.
And
Jacques?
I make light stands.
Oh, right, you had your dancing light spell to make
cast
sure
dancing
that
lights, yeah.
you guys can actually travel over here. All right.
I am going to use a hero point. Can someone
yeah.
because I rolled a natural one and I don't want a natural one.
Oh
Do
shit.
you want us to cross that off for you?
Please,
Crystal?
yes, because I forgot to open.
Boo.
I know.
Thanks, Amunra, for the hero point.
Eee.
Thank you.
Subside has also one, but we'll use it later.
That's 15 for me.
15 on your survival, alright. And on the perception check of Croween?
12.
12, alright. So, with that being said, all of you get into positions once again and begin to continue your travels through the sewer system. As soon as Jack gets his dancing lights back up, you take a look at those pouches of glowing mass, but with the light of the globules near them, they seem to not register enough for you to be able to follow them. So if you are gonna walk upon other of these tags with the dancing light spells out, you won't be able to see them. With that being said, you guys continue onward to follow these tracks. And Olam, it seems that after a couple of moments searching, you do indeed find this very particular stench that this one scum was trailing behind it with the sewage dripping off of it. And you continue onward. Your travels, it's difficult to keep tabs on things, but all of you started all the way at the eastern part of the dungeons, the sewers, excuse me, and are now traversing further on eastward. As you begin to travel, you do realize that there is still a large amount of rushing water eventually coming from the other side over to your right. Giving you the feeling that you are probably very close to the eastern main, to the actual river just coursing next to you. And as you continue onward for a couple of minutes, Crowan, keeping a close eye out, or a close ear out, I should say, you eventually begin to hear in the distance some chattering of these beasts, these fishmen, on different places, and they just, as a large echo chamber, just like catch on one wall, then go to the other side. So it's very, very difficult to make out how many of there are exactly. But you do realize that there is a multitude of these creatures head. Probably, like, it's difficult to say. Probably more than 100 feet away from you. Perhaps even, like, around another corner. But
Close.
We were not able to stealth because of the dancing lights, right?
Well, and because we're not stealthing in general.
it was a choice that you guys could
Yeah.
make. And eventually you opted to not do that and just keep a steady pace to not lose your target.
So, what now? Do we perhaps wish to lure them here?
No, I think we have to go deeper. I think we have to go find them instead of them finding us.
They will hear us coming. We are... and see us coming. But I am all for it if you are.
Does Crowan see anything like sorry Jack, but does Crowan see anything like a place where we can like retreat or have a fortified position?
I will say, with Edge scouting out, they eventually come back and they can tell you at least a little bit of what is on ahead. There are basically 3 parallel paths that lead to a certain place where the sound is coming from, the chatter of these creatures. And all of these 3 parallel paths are also connected, like interlocked in between them. So there's basically like a how would you describe that? Basically just like a matrix of 3 paths and then connecting paths between them. Eventually, however, by like where you guys are right now, it's so far back that right here the sewer system goes on all different kinds of directions. It is a gigantic labyrinth of all these different kinds of interconnecting paths. Now that you guys have walked through it, you can also see that the stonework from different places have different ages. So all these different places are build upon and build upon and build upon and build upon and expanded throughout. So there's a lot of different places where you could go. You've also kept an eye out, and you have seen a couple of places where metal staircases go. Ladders, go upward, and eventually might get you back to the surface at a certain point. You have even seen like public, waste receptacles where some people are just throwing their sewage water straight into a reverse well, if you will. So there could be places to just run away and scatter into the sewer system. Perhaps you could even find a way out of this mess to the upside world.
And those 3 paths, were they wide enough to fit several people next to each other, or?
Yes. Yeah, these paths were like the same sort of path that you guys were also walking upon. So with water in the middle and walkways on both sides. But with fear of getting sighted or seen, Edge didn't scout all the way up to their, gathering site.
The longer we linger, the more likely the chance.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm kind of optimistic about this. I mean, the last confrontation worked out pretty well. So how about we just go head on and find these scrum?
Sure. But I suggest we
Especially
have
because if we find them, then we know. Then we can see their hideout. Then we can scavenge and see if they collected anything. I think that would be nice for us.
Speaking of collecting things, one of the scum that you had just killed did carry with it 2 enchanted arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
Like I said,
There's 2 of them?
Yes, 2 of them.
Bolts or arrows?
Excuse me, bolts, crossbow
Yeah,
bolts.
okay.
Nice!
Just making sure.
Yeah,
I
no,
use
no. Try to fire a arrow from a crossbow would be a very difficult job indeed.
You can always try.
Am
I don't know
the
if you
only
guys
one?
can identify them or something, but
Am I the only one with crossbow, or is there someone else with a crossbow?
I don't use a crossbow.
Well, if Crowan is the only one with a crossbow, then Edge would have given the bolts to him,
Yeah, fair.
because they don't use it.
I do have a crossbow, but I rarely use it. So I would
Okay,
say let's go to Crone. Can I make like an Arcana check to identify the enchantment?
you can indeed. We'll just like backtrack a little bit and see what they were.
Shall I make one as well? Well,
But you
Yeah.
can try. Yeah,
Uh,
you can
Doable.
each take one. They do seem very similar, so you figure that if one fights it out, then the other one should probably be the same.
18.
18? That is enough. You attune yourself with the bolts for just a moment, and you realize that they are, what's the name again? Shining arrows? Shining bolts. So basically, if you fire it, it becomes a light source. I'm not completely sure what the name was again. Let me just...
Flashbang.
Flashbang arrows. Well, they're not also going to blind someone. It's just going to basically turn on the lights over there where you shoot it.
Fluffernutter.
Not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. Oh, there we go. Shining ammunition.
Crowan is
Shining
going to suggest
ammunition.
that he goes forward and once they get close to the hideout, shoot a shining arrow into the hideout so he can see.
Yeah.
And then try to get the range advantage for a moment, and then see if we get. And then Jack should take out the dancing lights when.
Yeah, then
What would you
Jack
do?
and I can both switch to our shield cantrip as
Yeah.
upkeep. So
Yeah.
we're a bit more prepared for battle. I say that's a good idea. Yeah.
I too.
Okay.
So we both start sustaining shield, and I guess combat starts as soon as you start firing that bolt.
Yeah.
So I guess we will once we get close enough, we roll initiative.
Depends
I
what
wanted
happens
to shield
first.
too.
Okay, but that depends on what happens first, of course. If you
Yeah.
guys are the only light source and you walk in there is of course a chance that they will see you before you are able to to fire that bolt all the way over there.
No, so yeah, we turn off all our lights. I guess we just stick close to each other.
I will
hands
help
on each
Crowan
other's
with
back.
aiming.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Then, for the sake of this, I would like all of you to go ahead and make a stealth check to just see how good you can sneak up on them.
Ooh, that's a natural 18
Boy.
for a
Oh,
total
yeah.
of 24.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Like Edge, the one with night vision, dark vision.
I
I
have
am going to use
15.
a hero point.
You go ahead and do that.
You
I have a
one.
5.
But you're a black cat.
I have an 18. A very loud black cat, I believe.
I also have dark vision, So.
You still have a hero
Just have
point,
like a
Alan.
racially
But I
plus
don't
10
want
on
to-
stealth.
Oh my god, yes, can we do that? I don't want to use my hero point on this because I feel like I'm going to have to roll to find the guy again, and I want to save it for that.
Okay.
I forgot.
The scum. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what guy? Who are?
Our
What?
best friend.
I was
Okay.
just really confused there. No, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have a 9, by the way, which is pretty decent because I have a 1 on my stealth. So
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh.
not too shabby. Sorry, I will need to hear those again. Jack,
An 18.
18, because I also need to write them down. Olam,
I don't want to say it again. It's a 5.
it's a 5. A 5 is okay. It's only initiative. Edge,
24.
24. Oh my god, initiative is the most important thing you can have, so that's very good. Crowan,
15.
15. All right, and then the artifact is going to have 99. There we go. All right, so
did you get my 9?
I did. That was the first one that that was the first one I did here. So we're good. We're good. Okay, so for my sake, what walkway of the 3 parallel lines will you guys wanna run into?
I'm thinking the left one.
Left it is.
Left it is. All right, so. And could I also have a marching order then?
Me up front.
Right, Crone will be up front, of course.
Me next to / sort of behind Crone because I will be helping him aim with my
Alright.
dark vision.
We also have two. We also have two sides, so you guys could also split up a couple of people on each side, or do you want to have like one train of people all the way through?
We need a row where we can like have our hands on each other's backs because not all
Right,
of us can
yeah.
see in the dark.
Gotcha,
But like,
gotcha.
is it 1 square wide or 2 squares wide where we're walking right now?
It's 1 square wide, like and that doesn't mean that you can only walk with one person because 1 square is still like 1.5 meters, like 5 feet. The 1 square is for 1 square to be good in fighting, you know. So
But-
if you really want to walk 2 by 2, that should be able. But as soon as combat breaks out, that will become a problem.
I would recommend that Tarush, being the tankiest of the wizards, be at the back for in case we get attacked from the back.
Sure,
All right.
I'm cool
Okay.
with that.
Alright.
I was thinking for Olam to be walking in front of Crone so I can lead the way and Edge can help him shoot. Does that make sense?
Well, I think just edge will be enough, right?
I can like see where we're walking and Edge can.
Oh, Edge can do as well.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
both of
then
you
I
have dark
don't.
vision,
I don't
or-
care where I'm walking.
I have dark vision, so I can
right behind
see.
Crone,
That's
yes.
why I'm helping Crone aim because Crone's blind in the dark and I'm not, so I can just like readjust him a little bit.
Yeah, I was just thinking about you can like focus on the aiming and I can focus on the walking.
All right.
But I don't
I think
really
it's
care.
better if it's like Crone, Edge, and then Jack or Tarush, and then you, and then the last person, so that you can keep them in check a little bit.
All right.
That's fine.
Then we have it now. We have Crone, Edge, Jack, Olam, Tarush.
Okay.
And then we have most people happy, I believe. All right. So, as you guys begin to walk up this path, you guys begin to walk forward, and eventually, in the dark, no one of you can really see, except for the two people with dark vision. An Edge, you can already see that, like in the distance of this path, you have one route to the right, and then eventually at the very end it curves and just goes to the right as well. And there you can see that somewhere along the line you see one of these scum just sitting with his back against the wall, crossbow like lazily over the shoulder, seeming to be playing with something in his hand, just throwing it up and catching it again. Probably they're on some sort of guard duty, but not really realizing what's going on. And you can also see in the distance another scum, but this one seems to be clad in a different set of armors, where the guard has this same scale mail armor that you saw before. This one just seems to be wearing normal leathers. However, it does seem to be like whacking on something and very intently working on something in his hands. And you can also still hear the chatter coming from the other side. But you guys will not let it complete his task. As Crone, you walk up, and with a little bit of help of Edge pushing your hands to the right side.
How far away are they?
Right now, you guys are the one guard that you could try and hit with this arrow would be 10, 20, 30, 50, 60 feet away from you.
Okay.
So that would be normal range for your crossbow. I figured
Alright.
that you guys wanted to get like in that first range increment, or within the first range increment if you can.
Can
And it
I
seems that you guys are okay.
prepare an action?
Is there? Well, we have our wizards that are casting shield, and you are aiding. Whatchamacallit, Crone.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, I also called you a wizard for now, Olam.
No,
Excuse
but
me.
I get Abe's question. Like in this
Oh.
system, you can't really prepare an action before combat. That's
Right.
like you can
And-
do a
Okay.
one action thing before combat, like upkeeping a cantrip, or in your case, scout. I guess scouting or
Well,
doing aiming.
You can ready an action. You can ready anything with 1 or 2 actions, but it also takes another action to hold, so to speak. So, for example, you could hold the attack action by using a second action for that, and then you can use your reaction to do that certain thing at a certain time. However, you are also already aiding Crowan, and that will take
Okay.
one of your actions. So
Right.
you could prepare one action thing, I think, if the
Well,
rules.
I was thinking I would just make my way as fast as possible to the scum that Crowan isn't going to shoot.
Right.
So I would
So
like to use my full movement to get as close to him as possible as
Yeah,
let me
quickly.
just
that's
sketch a situation for y'all
I think that's just taking your turn at that
before
point.
we get into the nitty
Right?
gritty. So, um, let
But like what that could mean, eighth in your case, or what you could argue, is that then your initiative is not your stealth but your athletics. Like that is something you could argue by that you're starting combat by running as fast as you can.
But she already rolled pretty well
And
on
then-
stealth, so she doesn't really need to.
Well,
okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
And can chat also see this? So you're walking along this path, then you eventually have a first to the right, then we have a problem, and then we have a second to the right with another problem. But you realize that there is another 1-2 path, and you have no idea what's over here.
Okay.
And you do hear chatter coming from that area. So if you would want to, you could most definitely indeed sprint to that guy right over there. But with the amount of sounds that you were hearing, could be that there's a guy, there's a guy, there's a guy, there's a guy, who knows. So just wanted to make sure that you realize what information you do not
In that case, I'm gonna just keep it on my stealth because it's way better than my athletics. I need to do
Yeah.
some push-ups.
Fair enough.
And I will help Crowan shoot and try to be ready for whatever comes around the corner.
Very well. Then
Shall I shoot?
you do indeed, Crowan. And I
Ah.
need to hide a lot of places on this map. Ooh, Charlie, could you perchance mute yourself when you were typing?
my bad.
That's okay,
And-
brother.
Do I get any minuses or anything on my roll?
Right now you don't get any minuses, I will say, but for the sake of this edge, you are aiding. So go ahead and make a perception check.
19.
19. Oh wait, Crowan, you do get a very specific, because basically you are blinded because
Yeah.
of this darkness. So we have rules for that. So what was the roll you rolled on your d20?
The first one was to 19.
19. All right. So we will say that is the flat check that you need to make to
Ah, yeah.
actually be able to hit him. So you are in luck. The attack does go through to the right piece of scum.
And now again a roll, right?
Yes. And you can go ahead and roll for the attack.
20 total.
20 total. Nice. All right. So as we move on to this beautiful piece of battle map, all of you are in the lower left at the end of this large corridor. You can see the two side places over here and the two scum at the ready. And this is exactly what you see illuminated as Crowan gets up his crossbow and the bolt with the little bit of glowing essence at the end. As you begin to slowly squeeze the trigger ever so slightly, the essence of magical energy over there already begins to glow, and as you shoot it, this whole corridor is alighted for a moment as the bolt eventually finds purchase in the shoulder of this scum. You go ahead and roll damage for that one.
It's a d10, and do I get sneak damage as well?
Oh yes, you most definitely get sneak attack damage for this one.
That's the 2 on the 6, and that's no bonuses, right? So that's 9 damage.
9 points of damage. And 9 is very nice. As it sinks into the side of the scum, which at that moment loses the small little toy that it was throwing up and down in the air, but it does get his crossbow at the ready and just turns towards you, now blinded in the light extruding from his shoulder wound, as he just goes and gives out this horrible war cry, as you can hear it emanating from a couple of the other side. As they are alarmed. So, at the top of the round, we will go up towards Edge and see what is going on.
Could I
Mm-hmm.
use my staff to jump over the water to the other side?
I'll let you make a
Like
athletics check for that.
Vierlepen, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you're Dutch. You can do that.
What check?
That would be an athletics for now, because the jump. Well, to jump places you need athletics.
Okay. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay. 16.
16. All right, I'll say you make it. So you can basically use your movement to just go all the way to the other side.
Awesome.
But that will be one of your first actions.
Right. Can I use another action to walk over there?
Can you click again? Yes, sure.
Okay.
You can move your own character if
Yeah,
if
I
I'm
was
not
just
mistaken.
checking before I moved it. And I'm just gonna wait here with my staff in hand in case something comes around the corner.
Very well. Then afterwards, I need to get a couple of initiative orders from our enemies in there as well. Go. You'll bear with me for just a moment.
Rawr.
I get it, because bear.
That was a horrible joke. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm not sorry at all.
Right.
My, this is some awesome battle music. Who
Yeah.
wrote this?
I have no idea.
Could it
No
perhaps
clue.
be Charlie D to be found
Could
on
it?
Spotify?
Whoa.
Could it be Charlie from Charlie Spotify?
Could it be? He kind of looks like that Charlie. That one on my
looks
screen.
like our Charlie, who is an incredible musical genius and happens
Well-
to have all of the A Tale of Dice background music on Spotify under the Gnomer Charlie D. So go check it out,
I
people.
think you're making Maxime jealous here.
Don't give him too much credit. Here.
Fun,
All right.
fun little
Nope.
bit of trivia, actually. When I first released it, the publisher or label that I had, like they forwarded it to Spotify and Apple Music and stuff, and apparently there was this other guy named Charlie D because I didn't do any research.
That
and
sounds
they
like
just-
you.
and they just put it under his name, and his other music is well, it's not my taste. Let me put it that way.
Right.
And I was like, who the fuck is this guy, and why is he claiming my fucking music?
It's
No,
not
as
as
soon as-
beautiful and
As soon as
and-
Maxime writes another one of his beautiful, slightly comic songs about this pack, I will promote the shit out of him too. But so far, nothing. So you don't get promotion.
Charlie
Just
deserves
yet.
all the kind words towards his beautiful music. He does.
All right,
Thanks.
but with these beautiful tunes in our ears, a small skull, if you will, of of fish people are getting roused as we turn our attention to Jack.
Yes.
Well, hello there.
Well, hello there. Let me have a quick look. We are still quite far away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now you guys are quite far away. I will give this little figure right over here a aura of 40 feet.
Aura of look at me.
Because indeed, this guy, can you guys see the aura right now?
No.
No? Then I probably have to do this, and now you can see it.
Yes.
There
Oh,
we
that's
go.
a big aura.
That's a big aura, yeah. So it's
I'm
20
in the
feet.
aura.
It's a beautiful magically enchanted arrow. So it's 20 feet bright light and then another 20 feet dim light. So
Right.
that is the distance that is now illuminated by only this guy with the arrow sticking out of his shoulder. Oh, and you also realize by identifying the arrow that even if it gets removed or anything, it is just like the switch is on. The arrow will always keep shining this bright light for the next 20 minutes, I believe. So you guys have a nice light source.
Thanks.
Yeah, so are we already like full on attack mode, guys, or are we still keeping it sneaky?
We're mostly then come to us first.
In that case, I think I just cast shield. I gonna have a quick look if I do any kind of spell. No, I don't think so because all my spells need a certain range that I can't get at the moment. So I kind of just settle in and make ready for incoming traffic.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah.
I will give you a nice little edge over the competition edge because as you were just turning the corner over there, you can see that over there is another piece of scum just waiting to do different things, and this is also one of the. And this is also one of the crossbow wielding like scouts, if you will. You fought them twice before now already, so you have a general understanding of what they will do. All right, but Jack, you're not moving anywhere. You're just staying put.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking at the map at the moment, and I think that I can move, but it would be unwise for me.
Very well.
Yeah.
All right. Then at the end of your turn, somewhere within the shadows, there is some movement and upheaval, but you cannot see what that person is doing right now. So we move our attention to. Well, what do you know? The guy who actually got hit with the crossbow. So he uses one action to basically just scramble up, and then gets his crossbow at the ready and loosens a bolt towards. Let's see here. This time it's Edge. He pulls up its crossbow, not really realizing what's going on. He then sees this very agile tiefling just feedly up over the water and come almost Naruto running at him. So he quickly turns the crossbow and shoots towards you for a total of 19 to hit.
Oof, that hits.
All right. Seems that, and those are 4 points of piercing damage. As it does graze your shoulder for a moment and gives like this nice open wound, and you can already feel the crimson blood begin to drench your clothing. He then uses his last action to reload his crossbow, and that is all that he can do. As Crowan.
Reloading a heavy crossbow is 2 actions, right?
Reloading a crossbow is 1 action,
Okay.
and then firing is another.
Because I saw on the internet that it was loading 2.
Oh, then your crossbow indeed has 2 actions to reload it. You have different sorts of crossbows. For the sake of this, we will say that these bolts will also work for your crossbow. But the crossbows that they are carrying are medium crossbows with reloading 1. If you have a heavy crossbow, that might be reloading 2, and then it is indeed 2 actions to reload it. But your crossbow packs a punch.
Okay, I'm good. Do I feel like the enemy sees me?
Yeah, you are pretty sure that the enemy sees you. You saw him look at you, raise his crossbow towards you for a moment, and then realize that Edge is, in his perception, a larger threat, and then turn it toward them and shoot it at them.
Okay, I'm thinking. Well, Edge is not really going as we planned, quite letting it come to us, but I think I'm just gonna reload and shoot.
Alright.
Reload, shoot!
Because you are wielding a heavy crossbow, right?
Yeah. And that is a 10.
A 10 to hit?
Yeah.
10 to hit will miss, I'm afraid.
Okay, bummer. Well, that was my 3 actions.
Very well. Alright, so, as you are trying to pepper the competition with bolts, within the darkness, it seems that another a couple of sounds are being able to be heard, as well as... as Edge, just around the corner, sees a third with a crossbow just begin to walk towards you. That is all that they can do right now. And alright, at which moment we have Tarush on deck.
Alright, so it's time to go into action. And this is making me realize I should actually look up what the damn range is on my... Oh, where did my mouse go? Ah!
Or electric arc?
Yes, electric arc. I'm sorry,
I mean, no worries, no worries.
OBS is messing with my cursor.
Yeah, understandable. Let's see here. It's 30 feet.
30 feet.
Only 30 feet, so you will have to move quite a bit upward.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, in that case, I will move... I have a speed of 20 feet, so I'm gonna move 40 feet up.
Alright.
And then keep my
Oh, dear.
shield sustained. And that will be my
Okay.
turn.
Very well. So you move just into the light.
Yeah.
As from the darkness, Tarush appears. But that is all that you can do right now.
The clacking and clinging of my armored boots against the stone walkways.
Alright. And with that, this last scum sewer scout is what I called them, is also, like, his buddy just pushes against him like, oh crap, gotta get to work. And he tries to scramble himself up as well, so he uses one action to get up. And then, I think he is going to move a couple of feet over here to see if he can get a clearer shot at you, Edge. You will have border cover though, so you have a +2 to your AC for this attack.
Julio?
Which is going to be a 13 to hit.
I'll miss it.
Alright, so as he walks up, the arrow just ricochets off of the stone wall, and a couple of pieces of stonework clatter into the water below, but nothing more can be done. At which moment... Also... Alright. And then, with that out of the way... Olam, what are you up to?
I am going to walk 50 feet. Wait. Oh, I had this all planned out and then I didn't remember where 50 feet was. I think over here.
Yeah,
It's
seems
also
alright.
tiny on my screen.
Every square is 5 feet, I think.
So
so
this is
just,
50
like,
feet.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, if you, we will work it out later, but there are some certain controls that you can hold your mouse and then you can see exactly how many feet it is for every square.
Yeah, the problem is that I did that, but when I wanted to move, I forgot which square it was because
Yeah.
it's also tiny and I'm not wearing glasses.
Yeah,
right now.
understandable. Yeah. I think it's for me it's just muscle memory at this point, but I think it's the left mouse button and then also the right mouse button once.
Oh.
So like hold left mouse button and then click the right mouse button once, and then you can see how far it is. Anyhow, you have just moved 50 feet.
And I'm going to cast shield, and that's all I'm going to
All right.
do.
Okay, if that's all you're gonna do, then I can't give you a magic item just yet. We will have to see what you do in next turn. I'm sorry. Sorry, I have to be honest. To be honest.
What?
All right. All right. As this is going on, in the distance, you also hear. Did that pick up?
Yeah.
No, it was too low.
Just
Yes
the
and
Just-
no. Just the first bit.
Like a very low, bassy bass voice, if you will. But it is very like the other war cries. They were all like just random gibberish. But this one does keep like one tone at some point, and it seems to like travel a little bit further. Like you have heard these voices before. This voice, in some certain way, was amplified by, dare I say, magic.
No.
With that out of the way.
Dramaturgy!
With that out of the way, the artifact is doing one thing. Oh, Nideko, nice. I will say, Charlie, roll me just a d20 in chat to see how good the artifact can like get the attention of your enemies.
All right.
Oh.
Oh wait, that's the wrong screen. And boop. And that is a 1.
Natural one? God damn it.
All your
At
points
least
are
it's
for
not-
nothing.
At least it's not a 4 though.
No.
It's
I'm
not
sorry,
a wild
Hideko.
magic surge either.
Well, the artifact just does give out a nice little wisp of sound waves that then begin to apparate from the other side, mimicking the voices of one of the guards that you heard before. Hey, over here! It doesn't seem to be having effect right now. Although I will bank this one for later to see if we can't use it in another way eventually, because I hate that the chat did a awesome thing in my opinion and it didn't work out at all.
The D20 of hell.
Yeah, goddammit. But still though, that would have been good shit. That would have been good shit. Alright. After that, however, Edge, you just got hit in the shoulder a little bit, the blood streaming from it invigorating you perhaps even more. What do you do?
Definitely pissed off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is within my movement, so I'm gonna use one action to get up in his fucking face.
Across the planks, all the way over there.
And then I'm going to whack him.
Alright. For the sake of this, I will let some places be known to you right now. Edge, as you gaze all the way to the other side, and all of you also heard that there was no sound over there. Oh wait, I need to reveal it, not hide it. There we go. There we go. So basically, this is the part of the map where you guys are coming from. Right. So you have these 3 different paths that turn all the way up over here. Oh wait, we still have a piece of darkness here, I think, don't I? Yeah. Is that better? I think that's better.
Yes.
Cool. Alright. You're standing in the son of a bitch's face. What do you do?
I whack him with
Oh my god!
17 to hit.
Which reminds me, flurry of blows was something that Charlie just pointed out. Yeah, I think this is something that you always have, right, as a monk, flurry of blows. You can use one action to make 2 unarmed strikes, right? It says in the... So if you, just because Charlie mentioned it before, and last time you did, you used 2 actions to make 2 strikes with your staff. Just so you know, you could like make unarmed strikes with your hands and your tail, if you would prefer, and then you do 2 attacks in 1 action, because like staff slow, hands fast. Anyhow.
True, but staff hurt more.
Very well.
And until I throw a little bit more points into my strength.
No, but
I did a lot into my dex.
No. But unarmed strikes are with strength as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't have that many points in my strength, but I do have them in my dex, and the quarterstaff hurts more because I'm trained in it.
Okay.
So I get a little bit more damage from it.
Either is fine.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And at one point, I think you're probably going to be able to pick up a feat where you can like use flurry of blows with your staff as well. So it's like nice stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get better at this.
Nice things to look forward
I'm
to.
a level 1 monk. Whacking something in the head worked. I'ma repeat it.
Worked quite well. Let's see if it happens again. This time,
17
however, your small little monkey familiar is like on your shoulder, very enthusiastic, just pointing where you should hit.
No. In combat.
Oh no, wait,
I
sorry.
teach him
Nox
to hide
is
in my backpack.
Nox is gone. Nox is gone.
He's
Yeah.
in my backpack.
Excuse me. All right. So, what was the 2 hits?
17.
17. 17 does hit indeed.
Awesome. Woohoo! That's 5 damage.
All right, you run over the plank, tuk, 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 and once again use the momentum of your movement to whack. And the head once again hits on the pavement next to it. But those points of damage are not enough to already knock it out completely. Still standing, although this time with like the crossbow without a bolt on it. He doesn't seem to be all that threatening right now. Those were 2 actions. You still have 1 left.
I'm gonna try to whack it again.
More wackiness.
Do I have to? I have to apply the penalty on my second attack, right?
Right. So yeah, -5.
Okay. Let me
I believe.
just grab that little. No, because my quarterstaff is an agile weapon.
Oh,
so
nice. So only a
-4.
-4.
And that's my modifier. That's a 9.
9 won't be enough, I'm afraid. So this time, after the first whack hits him straight across the temple, the second whack, you pull your staff up once again, and this time he just pulls one of his claws up and catches your staff in midair, pushes it away. doesn't seem all too happy to be assaulted by this group of intruders. All right. After Jack, we are upon you once again.
That is very much true. So I had a quick look. I am sad to say that I have to use 2 actions for this, but
Oh dear.
that's Crowan. Can I actually move myself? Or let me have
You
a
should
quick
be
look.
able to move yourself, I
You
think.
can set yourself to play as Jack, and then you can move yourself.
Well, can somebody place me just behind Olam?
I can, and I will.
That will take me 2 actions to move. Meaning that I only have 1 action left, which is pretty sad, but at least I'm closer. And I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna cast Shield again.
Shield? All right.
Yeah.
Very well. At the end of your turn, we have another piece of scum walking into the fray. That is going to be 1, 2, and then it is going to just jump into the water. As you can see, one of these other ones, just like the one up here, who is just wearing leather armor and is now jumping into the water with some sort of club-like weapon and is already moving through the water to meet all you assailants head on. After that, our friend over here, who is still alighted, is going to use 1 action to get the arrow out of his person and just throw it away. So, let me just... Let's see here. Don't I have like a nice little thing there for that? But let's first do what he does next, namely reload his crossbow, take aim, and just fire at the one in front of him. So Olam, 1 bolt is coming your way. That is going to be an 11 to hit.
Oh,
So yeah.
Oh, you
So with
muted
that-
yourself, honey.
that doesn't hit.
Yay! So the shimmering shield of arcane magic holds tight as the arrow just boom bounces off without any problem. So while I go ahead and try to fix the lighting, Crowan, what do you do?
I load the crossbow with a lighting ammunition and shoot the guy again.
Very well.
Well, I mean, the light doesn't go out if he pulls it out of himself.
No, the light doesn't go out.
Does it
let me
go
just-
into the water or does it go somewhere else?
He just throws it at the side, and you can now see a small little light source there.
Okay, so
And
if I can,
I'm just going
if
to...
I can still see that, I don't need to blind him again with an
That one, right?
No, you don't need to blind him again. Let me just give me a second here. There you go. Now all of you should be able to see another
Yeah.
aura. So he just threw it aside, not minding it. He's not trying to like bury it in the soil or anything.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna do something else since we can all see, and not that good with a heavy crossbow. I'm gonna switch to my mace and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1 movement. It's also 1 movement for the mace, right?
For the what?
For to switch from my crossbow to my mace, I have to use 1 action, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I in range of? Yeah, I'm gonna 1 movement, 2 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm gonna move even closer to. Trying. I'm using my last movement to get. Yeah, to get to that guy, I guess. Yeah, that's. I think
Okay.
that. No, I'm just 1 away from him because I don't have enough movement to.
Okay,
It's
so
for-
you shoot your crossbow once.
No, I don't shoot my crossbow.
You don't shoot your crossbow.
I switch to my mace, move twice, and now I'm here.
Okay, cool. You moved twice to get over there.
I'm pretty sure because I
Yeah,
was pretty
okay.
far away.
Okay, fair enough. Alright. Then, as your turn ends, we have this figure right over here, who is also going to try and close the distance with all of you. And he can actually make 2 actions to get past his combatant friend and just comes at you with a club with one last attack action, which is going to be a 15 to hit.
That's not enough.
Oh, so this time the wooden club comes towards you and you just parry it with your mace to the side.
Just bounces off my breastplate, man. Not even impressed.
Oh shit. You do, however, see another one of these creatures also come into view and get all the way over there with all of its movement. And then we also have this figure right over here, who is... Let's see here. Yeah, he's just going to shoot, reload, shoot, and he is going to go for Olam and Jack. So the first one is going to come towards Olam for a total of 11 to hit.
No.
And Jack is going to get one for a 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Nice. All right, so with that, Jack does take 4 points of piercing damage as a bolt penetrates your shield and does find purchase.
That
All right.
stings.
And at this moment, you can still hear some other scum voices coming from the other side as well. As Tarush, we are upon thee.
Alright. Gonna be a quick turn. I'm gonna move 20 feet this way.
Mm-hmm.
And guess I'll be helping out. Well, I can help out both Crone and Edge. Let's do that. So I'm gonna target both of the scum that are adjacent to Crow and to Edge, and I'm gonna use Electric Arc on them. So the telekinetic shield Tarush has around himself starts coalescing together into this ball of energy, which he then pushes forward as 2 arcs of electricity split in a 90-degree angle almost into 2 directions, passing around his 2 allies, almost as if they're repulsing the electricity, and it tries to hit the scum.
All right. Those are respectively a 14 and a 22.
All right, so that's
on their reflex saves.
Success and a fail. So that would be 8 damage for the fail, and half that 4 damage for the success. And
All
whatever
right.
weakness to electricity I remember they might have had.
No, that was only for the save that it was more difficult if they were in the water.
Oh, fair.
Basically gave them a -1 on their saving throw if they were submerged completely in the water. Because, like, electricity being in water makes sense.
Yeah. Pokemon taught us
Thank
that.
you,
I remember.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right. Alright. Then, after your turn, we have these 2 beautiful opponents as from the darkness another scum appears. However, this one you can see that the club that he's wielding, is a normal club, but this one seems to be vibrating in the air with some sort of magical enchantment upon it right now.
Okay.
He doesn't get all the way to you guys, he now just stays put right over there. But this one, next to Edge, after getting whacked in the skull, catching your staff, just lets loose the crossbow and just goes with his claws, trying to get some haymakers in.
Tarush, can Tarush still scream something at this point?
Sure.
He screams, "Edge, Crowan, hold the line. Make him go through the water if you can."
All right. The first one to Edge is going to be a 23 to hit.
Ooh, that hits.
All right. Second one is going to be a 13.
Misses.
And the third one is still going to be a 14.
Misses.
All right. So you do get 1 claw to the face. for 5 points of piercing damage.
Oh.
But that is all that they can do. As Olam, we are upon thee.
Do your thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a Divine Lance.
Julie, do the thing.
Oh no, I want to watch that again. No.
Nerds.
Oh no, we'll get copy striked.
No. I am going to use the Divine Lance on the one standing in front of Crowan.
Alright, this beautiful person.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to do attack roll. What's this one?
You have Divine Lance already?
Yeah,
It's a
just
cantrip.
cantrip.
Nice. Oh.
Nice.
I think I might be thinking of some of a different
Yeah,
spell.
it's still nice, but like...
Maybe
It's not divine spear. It's something else.
Divine spear,
Okay.
divine lance, divine beam.
I
Divine
have
intervention.
I have a rookie question.
Mm-hmm.
It says to make a ranged spell attack roll. Do I
Mhm.
add my spell attack roll
Yeah,
to my
that's
roll?
That
so
is
that's
just
probably-
always your spell attack. Yeah.
Yeah, that's +7 for you, I think, if I remember
6.
correctly.
6. I have 6 and 16. So that's 14.
14
Yes.
for this small little fella right over there. Let me just check real quick. That will be enough.
Nice.
Nice. All right, so go ahead and roll damage.
That's 3 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. So that's
Also free, right?
6. Yeah.
6.
Total.
All right. Then, Crowan, as this scum combatant comes running at you with the club, before he can actually try and hit you correctly, a electric arc is jetted from over your shoulder, electrocuting it, and then a divine lance comes piercing it from the other side, and this one is already tumbling to the ground, defeated.
Sweet. And I'm going to cast a shield again.
Very nice. Alright, then, in your field of vision, you can find yet another scum approaching the combat zone, as from all these different sides, it seems that a group is tumbling upon you. And as all of this is going on, you begin to count that you are quite heftily outnumbered. We will go ahead and take a little break.
Sorry, I need to pee.
We all need pee. We need 2 pee. We need 2 pee. Excuse me.
Okay, so some of us are getting drinks apparently, and the other ones are going to go to the toilet real quick.
Not necessarily in that order.
I don't know. I
Me-
can do both at the same time. So
I'm gonna finish my
whatever
food.
you will.
Yeah, but chronologically though, you first get drinks and then you do pee.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, chicken egg story, I guess.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Can we please
15 minutes.
go to intermission? Because
15
I've had
minutes
pee
and we'll
for
be
like
back.
20 minutes already.
Yeah, and in the meantime, if you guys indeed have some nice little bonuses, our heroes are outnumbered. So if you can aid them, any little piece of help is
Yeah. Now's a
Oh, I
good
see
time
a
for a
fifth.
wild magic surge where you turn us all into cats.
Oh,
So, see you guys in 10
Wait.
past 10.
Bye.
And we're back. The music, the drums of war, already starting up again, so to quickly jump back into the game. Last we left off, our heroes, known as the Pack, were tracking the cause, if you will, of a magical disease that eventually led them to the sewers of the large city of Farwater. Here within these sewers, they have found themselves their targets. A group of scum, fish-like people that live here, that in some certain way were affiliated with this magical disease, who were on the surface world trying to get rid of all the evidence of what this disease might do and who might be starting it. So, to find out more, our heroes are assailing them where they live. And while they did have the upper hand at first with a nice little surprise attack from Crowan and the ensuing chaos, the scum now do all appear one by one and begin to cluster around our heroes. So, to see how they will survive all of this, let's take a look at... oh boy, you guys have been busy while we were gone. Which is good. We are going to need all of this. So, first off, we will have another ghost image from Nideko to see if the scum can be at least a little bit disincentivized to attack all of you. This time, from the artifact, a angry guard dog rushes out and turns into this green spectral beast that then begins to run towards the scum and tries to basically just scare all of them off. Charlie, give me another D20 in chat. Let's see if we can go for another natural one.
Natural
No,
one.
no.
This can be a natural 20. Balance will be back in the world, but
14.
14. All right. With a certain modifier of the chat, I will say that will be enough. Note to self: come up with modifiers for chat, like how good chat is. So, for the sake of this, I will say that. Let's see here. The guard dog rushes out from the artifact and just runs spectrally over the water, all the way to the right side of the map. And in so doing, it does scare away one of the scum scouts, as this one right over here will have a hard time next turn to actually get his crossbow to work, and is right now just basically bolting away from the dog, at least for now.
Bolting. Nice one.
Didn't even realize. All right, with that out of the way, there are a lot of different things. Majo 80, a fierce attack going to Crowan, as you are still sort of in melee. The first one has now fallen between your feet, and a green pulse of energy invigorates your right arm, and with it your mace. Your next attack is a +5. A pulse, so everybody on their next D20 roll that they make can roll twice and take the higher number.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good.
That's correct, right? The pulse we did.
I thought it was +5.
right?
Yeah, I thought it.
Or did we just say +5? I don't remember
+5.
correctly.
Let me check.
Did we just do +5? +5 it is.
And
Makes more sense.
And I am refunding the hero point for Methadine, so they can use that for someone else if
Someone
they want.
else.
And after the guard dog is trying to scare away one of these scum, a group of guard begins to charge up behind the party. So, for the sake of this ghost image, Charlie, go ahead and roll me another D20.
Alright, here we go.
As this marching band of guards will just try to scare and frighten the different scum.
That would be a 7.
Although I'm afraid that with 7 that won't be enough right now. So the artifact does create a couple of these spectral guards that then slowly but surely begin to form and begin to march forward through the sewer system. But right now they don't seem to coalesce all that good together. So they just seem to be a little bit too flimsy as of now. But we will see what happens later on with them. As well as another sound that still emanates from the other place, namely the ghost sound from Nideko, I believe it was, previously, that still echoes from there. I will say that together with another ghost image invested in it, that this scum right over here is just going to opt out of staying right over here and is going to look over there when his turn comes. However, as all of this is going on, you still hear one voice of one of these fish people emanating from deeper within the network. Ah, fuck, why doesn't it take it up? That same monotonous sound, monotonous sound? Monotonous sound still echoes throughout the entire cavern system. But as that is completed, Edge, what do you do today?
Well, since Tarouche yelled at me to try to get them in the water, I am going to try to grapple this boy and throw him into the water next to me.
All right. Do you want to grapple him and then throw him, or do you basically just want to try and push him away?
I think it would be easier if I try to use my staff to kind of like hook it behind his head and just like make a move to make him fall into the water.
Very well. Then that will be an athletics check against his reflex DC to see if you can push him into the water.
You have a pulse.
Okay.
You do have a +5 on this, yes.
Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna use my one of my hero points to re-roll that because that was a natural 2.
Ooh.
That's much better. That's a natural 13 plus 4 for my athletics is 17 plus 5 from the pulse is 22 if my math is correct.
Nice. And that'll be enough. So with the staff between the wall and this guy, the pulse emanates throughout your arms and your staff, and with one deft movement, the scum tumbles into the water next to you, falling prone on his side. This one is dead, by the way. Well, let's get rid of that guy. I believe if I do this, there we go. Yeah.
I'm gonna use my second action to throw an elemental wrath at this motherfucker. It's another natural 2. So this one is going in a timeout.
Alright, so as you throw one of the scum in the water, the electrical energy coalesces around your arm, and as you try to blast it away, you just blast it against the wall in between you and him. No harm done just yet.
Do I have an action left?
I think
I believe so, yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna try again.
Alright.
Oh, that's way better. It's a 16 plus 7, 30 to 23.
One thing though, I'm sorry for interjecting. Your elemental wrath also counts as an attack because you're making an attack roll.
So you do need to.
The multi-attack penalty does apply.
Okay, so 23 minus. Is it
5.
then a minus 5 or a minus 4?
Minus 10 because your trip also counts as an attack. Or your shove. Yeah, sorry. I only just...
Okay, so that would be like in the second line of the thing then.
So that's a minus 10 right now. And with that, the 23 becomes a 13, I'm afraid.
Right.
And that still misses. The electrical energy dissipated from your first blow against the wall, but after that, this scum that is standing behind it, seemingly knowing what is coming next, he pushes himself against the wall as the second blast just passes by him, and he quickly gets up with the club to get in your face once again. But not before Jack is having his turn.
Yeah, so I'm... can I get a quick catch-up? What kind of resistances did these scrum have?
These guys didn't seem to have any resistances except for the one guy that you fought in the house who had resistance to cold damage.
Oh,
that
okay.
might be a racial thing. That also might be a thing from him, because he did seem like a sort of leader kind of guy. All these critters seem to be a little bit less capable than the big guy that you fought upstairs.
In that case, let's give it a try.
But if you want to be safe, cold damage probably not the best thing to use because you saw that one of them had resistance. I don't know if you have like different damage types in your repertoire with your cantrips.
No, in that case, let's play it safe, and I'm gonna produce flames. I think I'm gonna cast that towards the one standing just next to the lightning bolt. To call it that.
Yes, very well. Yeah.
Lightning bolt.
Let me have a quick look in that case.
So the one that was charging edge as of right now, literally.
Yeah. That's also the sound it makes. Give me a quick look. Oh, that's actually going to be great. Yeah, that's going to be a 24 to hit.
24, nice. That is a
Yeah.
critical hit on this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's very proper. Let's have a quick look. 1d4. No, I have to grab my d4. A critical, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's 5 plus. Ooh, that's actually that's 13 points of damage.
13 points.
Yeah.
Damn. One hit KO. He had himself perched against the wall to dodge the electric energy from Edge, but this time, as he's perched against it, you just look in awe. The flame hits him square in the face. He begins to run a little bit and then falls forward into the pond. But his unconscious body, or his dead body, I must say.
Sad because there. Can we say that there's like this little fire still on his back? Because I did a critical hit, he also get persistent fire damage.
In that case, the body is still there and just burning up slowly. He like tries to get the flames out, but quickly just succumbs to the power and then just lies there.
And because it's
smoldering.
dead, it cannot make saving throws against the fire, so it will remain on fire forever.
Forever.
Forever. And especially in those dirty sewers just filled with oils and such.
And gas.
Yeah.
And gases.
Alright. Nice. 2 actions well spent.
And the last action is actually this is a rare spell that you probably haven't heard of. It's called Shield.
Bling,
and I
bling,
cast
bling.
it on myself.
Yeah. There's only one target you can use it to, so. Alright. As your turn ends, this scum right over here is going to swim over here, and then swim again, and then is just going to try and hit you on your ankles. And let's see, yeah, Olam is the one closest, so Olam is going to get a hit in, which is going to be a 14 to hit.
Actually, no.
No?
No.
So, this scum quickly begins to, like as a shark through the water, comes quickly towards you, and at the very end he gets out, but just bounces off of your shield spell. No harm, no foul. At which moment the one standing in front of Crowan is going to, let's see here, he had his crossbow reloaded, so he's just going to like point blank range at you, Crowan.
Gonna
try and
try.
hit you. Which is going to be a 15 to hit.
That's not enough.
Pink! And as it ricochets off of your armor, as a free action he just lets the crossbow go, takes a step, and goes in for another attack against you with his claw. For a, god damn it, I am rolling so fucking low. That is a 10 to hit.
Yeah, that's not gonna be it.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work.
I feel like your cursing is a bit offensive to all the other gods. Gods, damn it.
Gods damn it. No, I'm talking about myself, Charlie. I am God. I am
Oh,
God.
in that case, fair
There's
enough.
but one dungeon daddy.
Oh, wow. The cringe is very strong with this
Crowan,
one.
let's go to you, shall we?
Okay. So I've got a fierce attack, which I'm gonna unleash on that little guy. See what happens. Does a 17 hit?
17 hits.
Yeah, thanks for the fierce attack. I needed that one.
So
Let's
as your
see.
mace tries to hit him, he tries to parry your blow, but with the fierce attack, it comes through.
Bam!
Wham!
Max damage. 10 damage on that bastard.
Jesus. Yeah, and another one bites the dust. They just come running at all of you, but one by one, they are just mowed down by the onslaught of all of you.
Okay,
Mow
so
down.
Mow down.
Get in the chopper.
Gotta do the job.
I'm gonna
All
go with I think I'm gonna go the one in front further up on the map has an enchanted mace, right?
That is correct, yes.
So I'm gonna use my special feat called You're Next to basically, after I knock someone down, I can intimidate someone else with a +1. And since I have intimidating glare, I don't need to be able to talk their language, so I'm just gonna throw.
No, you don't need language to make sure that they know that this mace, like, you have a little bit of blood dropping from the mace and you just point it at him.
The mace wants more blood.
Alright, let's see. Go ahead.
It requires fishy sacrifice.
I think a 13 won't be enough, though.
13 will not be enough, however. He looks at his own club, still enchanted by whatever magic it had. And no, it seems to prefer its own club over your mace, so he's still running at all of you. Alright. That was your entire turn?
Yeah.
Alright, then, at the end of your turn...
Oh wait, I still have another turn. Sorry, I still have another action.
Okay, well, then what do you do with it?
1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Can I get this is maybe the smart. I'm gonna help out Jack, since I think I'm gonna go there, basically.
Alright. So you just you say, "You're next!" Then you turn your back to him and jump into the water at the other side. Which makes sense why it didn't work. Like, you're next, but not right now, or reasons.
Later.
You're later. So, okay, and then you just jump into the water. But you are now in a flanking position with this other scum. So at least its attention is divided between all of you.
Yeah.
All right. Then this scum right over here is going to walk away over here and going to walk away over there, as he is still being like harassed by this spectral green dog that got summoned from the artifact. And that is all that he can do. As Tarush, you now do have 2 nice targets within the water.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, so this is perfect. The other one is lying on the ground, but that doesn't really matter for the reflex save. So Tarush,
Well,
just
actually,
gives a little happy nod.
Actually,
to Edge. Oh yeah, sorry.
Let me just check real quick, because Edge knocked him down, so he is now prone.
Yeah, prone is an AC penalty, but not reflex saving throws, I think.
Saving penalty to attack rolls. Flat-footed I think is also for reflex saves.
Oh.
To AC. No, it isn't. Why not?
It's
That's
all right.
weird. I thought it was. No, I guess not.
So
Nope.
Tarush starts chanting draconic words as once more he gathers energy into his staff, and then it flies into his hands, his left hand, in the form of this bubbling orb of electricity, and whoosh, he shoots it forward. So yeah,
Nice.
save against me, baby.
Alright, so... God damn it. The little one... I really thought, like, okay, now I have a bunch of bad guys. They can actually do some stuff right here, but apparently not. So get ready for the next encounter to be twice as hard. No, but a 10 on the small guy next to all of you.
Okay.
And... I am not making this up. This is a natural one.
Nice.
Like,
A super fail.
We'll get there, Walter. We'll get there.
Excellent.
Okay, but so the one in the water has a critical fail, and a 10 I think is a normal fail.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
All right, so that would be okay. That's a 2. So 6 damage on the normal fail and 12 on the critical fail.
All right. All of them are still alive, or both of them, I should say. Oh no, wait. The one that was in the water already got his head smashed in by Edge's staff. So with that, as he falls into the water, Edge, you look back and you maybe find a little bit of comfort in the nice little tag team that you and Tarush just did, because just as his body hits the water, he coalesces electrical energy and unleashes a powerful bolt that...
Edge feels disgusted.
No.
Well,
This isn't even the grossest I've seen, trust.
No, I'm talking
Today.
about our teamwork here.
All is fair in love and war kind
Fair
of
enough.
idea. I mean, I still don't like you, but that was awesome.
All right.
All
So I still have that pulse, and I think
You
I'm
do?
gonna make a d20 roll then. So I'm gonna use my the pointy end of my staff, which is a spear, and I'm gonna use it to try and stab the guy, the little scum that I just electrocuted.
Very
And
well.
see if I can maybe do something with that, because I have a surprisingly decent strength modifier.
You have a -5, right?
Sorry?
You do have a -5, right?
No, because
plus 5.
No. Vincent means because I just used the spell. So the interesting thing is with spells that require others to save, they generally don't have the attack trait.
Oh, okay, nice.
So in this case, no penalty. That's why it's a nice combo. And I rolled an 11. Will I? You know what? No. I think we need the. I'm gonna use a hero point here, and see if I can maybe turn this into a crit.
Oh dear.
And maybe I will. That's a natural 18. So that would be 18 plus 4, 22 plus 5 is 27 against this guy.
Oof.
I don't
And that
know
will
if it counts as
indeed.
flank. Oh,
Well,
doesn't matter.
even so, it's still a critical hit. Right now, you're not flanking, but you don't need it. With the pulse invigorating you, and you stab. Like, where do you stab him? Because he is now like in the water, so you have to jab him like downward. Do you want to get him straight in the head? Do you want to get him in the neck?
Is he that damaged already?
He's dead. Dead is what he is.
Nice. I didn't even roll for. Wait. I still want to roll for damage because that's a 6 on the die. Oh, sorry.
He had,
I
like,
was so enthusiastic. I dropped my mic.
Now these small guys don't have too much hit points. You figure, like, perhaps you have heard of simple goblinoid creatures. You get a little bit of a feel of what kind of level these creatures are, and you're figuring
No,
like
for
-1,
reference, it's
0.
14 damage.
14 damage. Oh my god. I can tell you this. No, I'm afraid he would be still able to make death saving throws. It's not like his total HP in the negative.
Alright, no, but so what Tarush does after he casts the spell, he just lifts up the spear and just right down to the top of it, he just slides it down, lets it slide down his hand as it just completely penetrates the scum's head down to what might be its neck, and then he just pulls it back out. Surprised at the effectiveness of what he just did, kind of.
Crowan.
Unexpected.
Crowan, as you jumped into the water, you see the scum just pivot towards you, and as he is facing you, the spear just comes into the head and is pushed through it, and then you can only see the fish mouth just like gape in awe, and through the mouth you can now see the glistening piece of sharp metal as the spear has pushed itself into the mouth cavity. And then Tarush just pulls it out. A globule of blood and ichor and other brain matter perhaps just coalesces in the mouth as it also drops underneath the small waves that you were making. Alright. Tarush. I believe that was a good turn, but now it has ended, is that correct?
Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. That
No
was
worries. Alright, then, at the end of your turn, however, the enchanted scum does run up towards you, Edge, because you tried to electrocute his friend, and he didn't quite like that. So, let me just real quick check that for a second. There we go. All right. Yes.
Take your time.
Okay. Awesome. So,
So salty.
Wouter will remember this. Edge. First attack coming in for a total 20. Hits. And the second attack coming in for a 13 to hit.
No.
Alright, so as you see the scum run towards you, his weapon zooming with some sort of sonic energy, the first strike, he doesn't come at you around the corner. No, he goes through it. He pushes the club against the stonework, and the vibration just shatters the rock, and then you see the club coming towards you, hit you in the side of the head, doing, let's see here, That is 8 points of bludgeoning and sonic damage towards
I'm
you.
down.
Ugh.
Oh,
No!
shit.
I had
Ooh.
7. I had 7 left.
All right, so with that, Edge is knocked unconscious. In that case, the second attack will not go towards Edge, but go towards Crowan, as he is another target. So let's see how that goes. But that's even lower. That's a 12 to hit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
however, what you did realize is as he hit Edge, like with the hit, the zooming just got a little bit louder and a little bit higher and more intense. As
Oh,
the second
sweet.
hit just evaporates some water.
Mhm.
All right. As that deed is done, we turn towards Olam. I do believe that, by the way, one of you still has a healing potion on their person.
Somewhere.
Yeah, you found one in the
Yeah.
house, I believe. So someone still
Yes.
has a healing potion if you guys want to use that on Edge, for example.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to do.
It's not
Alright.
me, so I'm just going to Divine Lance again.
All right, so you're going to
Awesome.
Divine Lance the guy who just knocked out Edge?
Yes, the bastard. Yes.
Seems appropriate.
Right? Yeah, I wanted to do the guy that was in front of us, but he's already dead. So you know. That's 23.
23.
Yes.
Damn. That's almost a critical hit. Not exactly, but almost.
Whoa.
Wouter, could you restart the music for me?
I can and I will.
I very much appreciate the sentiment
I tried.
of an almost critical hit.
As long as you feel it, you know that's
I
important.
feel it
That's
in my
important.
bones.
Yeah, you should be more,
In my soul.
You should be more like Vincent in the first episode and have a lot of luck.
Yeah.
Damn me and my dice without
Do
luck.
more luck having.
Yeah.
I deal 5 damage.
5 points of damage. Still, though. As you see, this is one of the club-wielding scum who was just like wearing leather armor, working on some things here. They do seem to be less intimidating as the scouts with the crossbows that you fought before. But still, 5 damage is not enough to knock them down just yet. Those are 2 actions, I believe, for your.
Yes, I'm going to
lance?
cast shield again on
All right.
me.
The impenetrable fortress of 3 wizards. I like to think that I can like see all of you like the different shield spell aligning each other, interconnecting, and just boom, 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 all the blows ricocheting of it from it. Good shit. All right. There is one last scum right over here that is also going to try and move in. Seeing that an enemy is just felled over there, he is going to use one move action to get over here. Then a second move action to get over here. But do not be mistaken. He is in the water next to you, Crowan, so he just dives underneath it. And then from underneath the water, the claws are going to try and find purchase within you. So, the club is going to come above the water and try and hit you for a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Alright. Then you will take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, damn, man.
As a nice little hit, he comes from underneath the waves, and the club hits you right in the temple. Oof. Didn't really anticipate how fast this fucker was.
Yeah.
But speaking of fast, that is all that he can do for now. And I see that, Crowan, you have a nice little haste as the artifact invigorates you and increases your movement speed by quite a bit. I believe it was 20 feet, or what did we say? It was just double.
Oh my god, I forgot to add the +5 on my d20.
Oh shit! The pulse!
Yes,
Oh,
so it
well-
would have been crit then, right?
Yeah, so that would have been not 5 but 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Nice!
And the haste is a 25-foot speed bonus.
Alright, so you have basically double movement speed right now, Crowan. The 10
Okay.
damage, however, although the lance does strike through his entire person, and you can see him winded, the club in his right hand, still pulsing with this sonic energy, is enough to invigorate him once again. He's not letting go. 10 hit points was not enough,
Okay.
but he doesn't seem to be doing so well. All right. So, I believe that was the only thing for now of the artifact. We do have a couple of hero points. Oh, and Crystal, you have been fed also. Like a half an hour ago.
Yeah, I already did that. That was at the
Oh.
beginning.
Very well.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, Wouter.
I was just checking.
No, he's doing. I want to eat again if you want me to.
I think we all want to eat. I have these delicious super sour Skittles. Look at them.
I mean, I got those mini Oreos.
Like double meanie. Whoa.
Uh-huh.
Reminds me of the Office, that moment where they have mini cupcakes and Kevin is like, but cupcakes are already tiny cakes.
Yeah.
Where will it end with you people?
I love him so much. Such a spirit animal.
Ooh, thank you, Sean Kaisi.
My Patronus is Kevin.
Him just standing there eating.
All right, so
The most dramatic
no.
piece of movie film history is Kevin dropping his chili.
Oh yeah.
That is very sad. It's very sad.
Oh yeah, that is
Right.
so hard to see.
However, what all of you also see is that from the shadows, now the humming voice of this one scum does make itself apparent to you. You see in this hunched form, wearing tethered robes of like some old forgotten like purple cloth around himself, wielding a staff that seems to be just a simple piece of iron that it probably found, but protruding from the very top, a small collection of grown crystals. He takes a couple of steps and the humming continues, but this time the humming doesn't seem to be damaging you, but as he casts Soothe, the wounds on his friend over here do seem to heal up a little bit.
We have a healer!
There we go.
He's not on our side!
Let's see here. Alright, so that's going to be... Okay. As a couple of the wounds do heal back up from this one scum over there. But that is all that he can do right now. After which, we are back to Edge. Edge, no, sorry. Edge, you are
Yeah, I have to
somewhere
do saving
else.
throws.
Yeah, but when you get knocked down, you get knocked down all the way to just before the one that knocked you down in the
Okay.
initiative order. So right now we will have to wait for you and your death saving throws and go on to Jack.
All right.
Oh, that's a nice mechanic, by the way.
That is actually
But it also gives your party members more time to perhaps get you back on your feet.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
As the round starts, we will have to decide, however, who was carrying the healing potion.
I think
If
Jack
was
being the guy who knows the most about medicine, we could say he's the medic of our team.
and as Maxime is also the one that keeps track of all of the loot, if nobody has claimed this potion, I will say also
I also
that
think
Jack.
it was
that is
Jack
very
that-
much true.
I also think it was Jack that gave me the healing potion in the first episode.
Yeah,
So
fair
that
enough.
makes sense.
Healing
Yeah.
potion, it is on your person, Jack.
Let's say that if I would move myself to just above the scrum that is attacking Edge,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to administer medicine to Edge?
If you were standing right over here, you mean? I will
Yeah.
say that you would be able to administer to Edge. It would leave you open for like attacks of opportunity, but you like by looking how the flow of combat goes, these creatures don't seem to be like combat savvy enough to have those abilities. So you
Yeah.
feel like the one scum that is standing right here over Edge's unconscious body was very close to death, and as you are having your turn, he's basically healed up slowly, so that would give you enough of an opportunity to get there and put in the potion
Yeah.
if you so want.
Yeah,
In that case, what did Charlie want to say?
for reference, you can like administer first aid to stabilize Edge, but just feed him the healing potion is probably the better option.
Yeah. Well, in that case, that's what I'm gonna do. Can somebody move me? I still can't seem to
Very
move
well.
myself.
So how many feet of you have 50 feet of movement for 2 move
25.
actions? 25? Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So this is 20 feet, and then you need another 30 because 10, 20, 30 because of difficult terrain to get there. So you have exactly enough movement with 2 move actions to get all the way over there.
Cool. And then I use my last action to administer the potion.
All right.
to Edge.
So Jack, you have been keeping up this shield spell for quite a long time now, but now you let it go and you just begin to run one hand in your pocket to get the healing potion out. You jump into the water, wade through it, pull yourself out on the shore, and uncork the healing potion and just throw it into the gaping mound of Edge. Blech.
Gaping
So go ahead.
mound, even.
Gaping
Wow.
Damn. No, I meant mouth, but mound might also be effective. I
Wrong
don't know.
end of the body, Jack.
We just have to administer a potion. This is a medical thing.
Right.
What do I have to roll for this?
Just looking it up. 1d8 healing points.
Ah, cool. That's 2 points.
2 points.
I'll take it.
Feeling good.
That's infinitely times the ones that they already had. So
for reference, Abe, you
Yeah.
also have the wounded one condition now.
Okay.
Which is not good.
basically, every time you get knocked out, you are closer to death.
And if
I
you're knocked out by a
get
critical
knocked
hit, you become wounded too. But that wasn't a critical hit, right? It was a normal.
No, you were. Yeah,
It was a normal hit.
Yeah.
It was a normal
Okay.
hit.
Okay.
And that would conclude all the actions that I've had. So,
Alright.
off to the
Rowan.
next.
If I move up, do I flank with Edge even though they are prone?
I'd say it's a little bit difficult.
Technically, yes, because
Technically,
Edge is now
yes,
threatening
yeah.
Again, right?
I just back up. So I will say, as Edge is being fed the healing potion, they quickly realize that they are still in combat as they come back to consciousness. So they grab their staff and already begin to be in combat with this one scum. So yes.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Does 23 hit? I think so, but
23 does hit. Yes.
does it critically hit because he's
It doesn't-
flat-footed?
Wait, yeah, with the flat-footed condition, that does become a critical hit.
Okay, so that's 5 plus 4 plus 6. 15 damage.
And
On
as the
his face.
soothing energy slowly but surely began to close up the wounds again, Crowan, in your hasted state, you play whack-a-mole, like, and the scum just
Isn't that the scum
collapses.
that he told you're next?
Yeah!
That's
Yeah.
so perfect. That's so perfect.
Oh, you so!
So he was next. So he technically was next. Somewhere in the line.
Somewhere, the universe just shifts a bit more to correct.
The cohesion of the universe increases by a slight amount.
And
Right.
with my last action, I'm gonna go with your next again and just point at the scum next to me and just say, "You're fucked!" And I'm gonna roll a hero point because fuck it, I don't want to fail again. Does 17 manage to intimidate him?
17 does become enough, so for a moment this scum actually learns common and says, yeah, I agree, I am fucked.
Yeah,
But,
done.
Alright. That will be your action, so at the end of your turn, the green scum scout does now once again appear, but as he walks towards the spellcaster, he just puts his hand on the spellcaster's shoulder and begins to pull the spellcaster away. As the spellcaster now also, you can see he is like making the attention clear to move away from all of you as of this moment.
Okay.
But not before we have another turn for Tarouche.
Alright, so one thing I'm thinking, I want to make a mental note. If that takes an action, that's okay. I want to take a mental note of that one of that spellcaster's pieces of equipment, like his staff or his armor or something. Just in case I want to use my scroll of locate.
I'd say you don't need to use an action for that. Like it's already like things with perception. I always find it quite like
Yeah, no, I
rude
get
to
that.
pick up your actions for that. No, you can look. You're looking the entire time.
That's fair. Well, so in that case, I have that little mental note. And after that, well, let's just start off. I'm gonna acid splash the scum right next to Crowin.
All right, so
this energy gathers between my staff and my left hand again as this blob forms in front of my face, which then pulses forward, and I need to make a spell attack roll this time. Do I have... Nope, no hero point left. So that's gonna be a 10. Which I don't
10
think-
won't be enough.
Fair
No.
enough. I guess my streak has to end somewhere.
He's still in the water, and as the acid splash gets charged up, he quickly darts beneath the waves once again, and the acid dissipates over the sewage.
In that case, I'm just gonna do a mild bit of tactical movement and head over here.
All
And
right.
that would be my turn.
Very well. At which moment, Edge back in action, hurting like hell, but back in action.
I'm gonna check my backpack real quick and ask, Nox está bien, Paquito? And see if Nox is okay. He's
Yeah,
okay.
although he does also go a little bit like because you do realize that you fell on your back. Yeah.
Amiguito, I'm so sorry. And then I'm gonna reach my hand into the water towards the dude under that walking plank and do an elemental wrath.
All right.
13 plus 7 is 20.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be enough. Go ahead and roll damage on that one.
2 on the die. Do I add anything to that?
I believe your charisma modifier.
Then that would become a 6.
Nice. All right, so as the acid splash just missed this one piece of scum, and the acid itself is dissipating and getting diluted by the sewage water, you roll over, beginning to charge your electrical energy, and as soon as the scum comes back up, you just blast him right in the back. He gets pushed forward a little bit by the electrical energy, still standing / swimming though.
Edge is still prone, right?
Yeah, you're still lying on the ground. You would have to use an action to stand up.
Just making
Yeah,
sure.
I'm gonna get up.
Get up!
And quietly to myself say a little prayer to Avandra.
I mean, you could
Because
try
we
and-
could sure use a healer right now.
Yeah, you're low on HP, that's fair.
I
was
have
thinking
2
you could
HP, bro.
Try and grab that spellcaster.
I'm
That
That's
sounds
smart.
like a bad idea
Edge-
as I'm saying it out loud.
yeah, no, Edge is tapping into self-preservation here.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
enough.
take much to knock me down again.
You could try to retreat a little bit, get around the corner, for example.
Like stand opposite to Tarush or something.
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah.
safe there.
Yeah, like somewhere over there or over
Yeah.
there that you're not in a direct line of sight with the
I'm
spellcaster.
indeed gonna be right there.
Very
And
well.
I'm just thinking we might want to be a bit more descriptive about where we're standing for our podcast listeners,
Oh,
as we're saying this.
very true.
Fair.
Right, I will. For our podcast listeners, I am now standing directly behind Jack.
Now let's just do this encounter again, but this time really emphasize for the
Just
podcast.
do another 3 hours.
No, but that's a good thing, Charles. However, this will be the end of Edge's turn, as Olam.
Okay, so I'm standing roughly 45 feet from the healer. That means that I can't use my Divine Lance, but I have a feat that's called Widen Spell, which I'm going to use. And it's 1 action to use Widen Spell, and 2 to use Divine Lance. So now
Meta magic.
I can try to kill the one that's 45 feet from me.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. Was that descriptive enough?
Very well. So as Olam is standing there, her fur twinkling with the different starlight, you once again conjure up this lance of divine energy, but this time you quite literally like widen it up as you pull your hands outward. The lance gets extended, and this time this gigantic ballista, if you will, of divine energy is thrown towards the spellcaster. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
You can do it.
Ooh. That's 25.
Yeah, 25 will hit. Not a critical hit though.
Oh, dang it.
No,
Dang it.
you can't have it all.
Ooh, but I do want to have it all.
Understandable that you do want to have it all, but you can't.
That's-
I will not allow you to have it all.
A 3 plus a 3 is a 6.
3 plus 3 is indeed 6.
Doesn't kill.
So with this, as you jettison that the gigantic divine lance at the spellcaster, he, still with his hunched over back, just pulls up one hand a little bit and just takes the brunt of the blow, and you can see him look at his hand a little bit, not really all that pained, but just fascinated by what you did, trying to ascertain what you actually did to this spellcaster. And you begin to realize that while the rest of all of these scum were pushovers, so to speak, this one does seem to have a little bit more oomph to it.
It
Oh, no.
has an aura around its avatar, which is
Well-
a different color from the other ones.
Well, it's a spellcaster, but there's only like one picture of scum in the.
Nah,
in the
no,
DMG.
I totally get it.
No, but there isn't an actual aura. There's not like he had a shield spell up or something. It's just like you did 6 points of damage against this guy, but 6 points of damage doesn't seem to matter as much to him as it does to the other ones.
Too bad.
All right.
That's all. Thank you.
As this
Good night.
happens, as this happens, the spellcaster just does like a couple of words in this weird fish language. As this one last scum in the water just comes up and just goes berserk, trying to hit Crowan.
Emphasis on the word
Which will
trying.
First one will be a 19 to hit.
Ah.
Second one will be a natural 1 though.
Yeah, the second work.
Third one will be a 10.
Nah.
Right, so you do take another 4 points of piercing damage.
Did I take damage before? Yeah.
I mean,
I think so.
that's for you to remember, my dude.
Yeah, but it's just I'm looking at my notes. I see I have a full health, but I don't think that's correct. So I'm thinking. Oh yeah, I got 6. I got 6 damage. Yeah.
You know what this
So-
means? You're gonna have to rewatch the entire episode and see
And correct your HP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if it's not correct by next week.
I got HP left. It's correct now. Stop it.
All right.
Stop.
However, as we turn to the top of the initiative order, let's see here. Oh, nice. We have nice fortification and shield coming towards Edge, as different defensive bonuses are trying to keep them alive, which is very nice. However, as it is 11 o'clock already, I think that as this spellcaster is going to go ahead and have his turn and use it to, with this other scum, just walk away and just try to leave the battlefield by the water as they eventually jump in and just begin to swim, the two of them. Let me ask you, what do you guys want to do?
Yeah.
I don't think we are gonna chase them personally, right?
No.
We have a tracking
I'm-
spell.
I'm-
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to check-
Very well.
I need to heal up, guys. I can't keep fighting.
Very well.
Yeah.
Then, for the sake of this, as this last scum, seemingly as one to hold the line, so to speak, to give up its life so the spellcaster, who seemingly was a little bit more important, can get away, together with the scout that was so fragrantly scared by a apparition from the artifact. All of you knock this one scum down without much effort. And as all of you are heaving and hoeing, you turn your attention to still a couple of humming sounds in the distance. And as you walk upward towards where the caster actually came from, I will leave you with this one last visage all the way to the top of the map. Oop. Oh god, what's going on? I misclicked. God damn it.
Jesus.
Here we go. Can you guys? No, you can't see it, can you?
I
Nothing
can't
No, you
changed
can't
on
see
the
it.
map.
No. God damn it. Roll 20.
do it.
There we go.
Do it.
As you see
Do it.
a place where wait, am I revealing areas?
Nope.
No?
No,
Why isn't this
back.
working?
What am I supposed to be looking at?
There we go. There we go. All the way at the
Top
top
of the map. Oh,
at
there
top
we
of the map.
go.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, okay.
As you
Okay.
find the humming of a couple of these crystals that seem quite familiar to you, next to a place where water from outside begins to trickle through, almost seeming to like feed the crystals. And in between all of this, a small little stone shrine is erected where you can find a sort of haphazardly created scarecrow. You see
Oh.
a mannequin of sorts with a set of half-plate armor strewn about it, with different pieces of like jewelry, gemstones, art pieces, and in the middle of this stone, like offering bowl, if you will, you also find different remnants of burned matter as the water trickles alongside it.
Sounds like loot.
And as you guys walk upon this to investigate, to loot, to realize what you have just found yourselves upon, we will end today's session.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, bitches!
Or we
excellent.
all say our goodbyes, though, because I wanted to actually do this at the beginning of the session, but I completely forgot. Wouter and I have been invited to join a European Pathfinder group for a one-shot on
wait,
Saturday,
we need to have music.
February the
There we
11th. So if you want to come and hang out with us and see what's going on, keep an eye on our socials and our Discord, where I will keep you guys updated on when and where and what time this will be happening. So
Well, I will actually
keep
be
an
a
eye on
player.
that. Yeah, you'll be
So-
a player. I'm very excited.
Wouter, you're already a player.
Oh,
Hey,
Jesus
Charlie.
Christ, Charlie!
Wow.
Look who just made himself more experience points.
If
My
he's the
God.
player, then he's losing the game.
Oh. No, but if you wanna see me like argue with the DM because I know it better, no, I'm not gonna do that. But
He'll
I'm
be
excited.
tempted, though.
I'm excited. I rarely play characters. Well, I rarely play player characters. I mostly play a hell of a lot of characters in games. So
I was just about
hell
to say.
yeah, like that's always,
You
dude.
play
Don't
all
you
the
mind?
NPCs, dude.
Yeah, don't you mind DMing? What you mean? Do I mind having all of the freedom and all of the different characters? No, I don't mind. No, I think it's okay.
I rarely play any characters. You play like 50 in
Yup.
one game.
Indeed. But hell yeah, excited for that, Ave.
Nice.
It's gonna be some good shit.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
seriously,
fun.
I will be watching for sure, and I will for sure be making indecent comments in the chat.
Mhm.
Do it.
Let's see how fast I can get banned.
Oh no.
Immediately.
I don't think you need a lot of time for that. I think you're very capable. I think you're very capable.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Subside, thank you for wait. What's the name? I don't know what that means. Did Subside just become a pack member again?
I don't.
Oh,
I think so,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I think that's because he has Prime, so you get a free membership with Prime.
Oh, awesome! So all of your free loot is ours now. Thank you so much, Subside.
Thanks,
Appreciate it. Seriously, and thank you to everyone who was watching today. We
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
again
it was
had a very
great.
participating audience, and honestly, I was I was like, oh god, we're fucked. As the whole army of scum came down on us, and
Yeah.
like relatively speaking, just Edge going down, that is way better than it could have gone.
Like for real though, you might have heard it in my voice. Like it did not go as planned. This should have been you guys being scared away by an encampment, but together with the chat, together with some good rolls and some good choices on your part, like I don't know, man, you savagely beaten all of them.
Yeah, when you said like the next encounter is gonna be more difficult, I was like, no, bro, we're level 1. We are barely winning this
but dude,
because of the fartifact.
I think if I like the thing is this was an encounter that you guys were capable of owning, but I did not anticipate that you guys would own this without having any spells. Basically just slinging cantrips and hitting and that's it.
Yeah, no, we got very we got very lucky there. That is true. And I think it's actually fun because I imagine this will actually lead to our party's overconfidence. We're gonna be like, oh, we fought up a whole encampment of scum. What's the worst that could happen? You know?
I think Tarush is speaking through Charlie right now because Edge going down is definitely gonna be a reason for them to think, okay, maybe we bit off a little bit more than we could chew.
Nah, we're fine.
Easily, no problem.
We definitely need a healer, though.
Cronies bye. Thank you so much for dropping in. I love that you laughed your ass off. We did as well. I'm still smiling right now with all the ridiculousness here. So indeed, join us next time if you will. And again, also love that everybody threw in llama points to aid our combatants. When I got back from break and I saw oh my god, the entire queue is filled with hero points and bonuses. That was some good shit.
And some useful stuff.
It
wasn't just random hero points or whatever.
No,
but they really thought about what they were
And,
doing and how to help us, and that was really cool.
uses, of illusions and stuff.
Love that to actually affect the flow of combat. The fact that this one scout just got away and is now pulling away the spellcaster while they are fleeing is because the scout got scared because of the chat.
And also,
that's something that you guys did.
Legend has it that somewhere in the sewers, there's still a scum being chased by an illusionary dog. Years on
by a
until the
greenish
end of
Cujo.
But yeah.
I just Wouter, you kind of promised me a magic item at the beginning of the fight, so I'm waiting.
What's up with that?
Well, like I said, go loot next week.
We took down a scum with a magic fucking bludgeoning.
Yeah, but he said
thing.
one more step and then you get a magic item, and I did.
And then the time was up. The time was up.
You did take the step. I don't know, man.
Kinda effy, man. Kinda effy. That's kind of an empty promise.
I wonder how smart it is for a player to antagonize their game master.
Yeah.
I like to live on the edge.
Well, Wouter, I can wait for next week, so...
Metcode belongs to Maxina! No! Maxina already has
you
a
in the
nice
WhatsApp.
We'll fuck with him in the downtime.
No.
It's gonna be okay. We'll make
Hashtag
him
justice for
regret it.
Olam. No, don't you worry, Olam. Enough magic items will be flowing, don't you forget it. But for now, however, we must take our leave. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for participating. We hope to see you all again next week for more stupidity with the chat being the, instigators of it all. Enjoy the last hour of your weekend. We love you. Bye-bye.